And welcome back to the Upside Sports Network. My name is Michael. Appreciate you guys joining us after a great Game 1 for the Texas Rangers. Game 2 is about to get started. Tampa Bay on the brink of elimination, as are all four wildcard games are going to be elimination games today. We will bring you the Texas Rangers and Tampa Bay Rays first, and then later on this evening, we will have the Philadelphia Phillies and Miami Marlins. We'll see how this game ends up going, if it goes extras, etc. But should be a good one either way. Nate Eovaldi goes for the Texas Rangers, and for the Tampa Bay Rays, it'll be Zach Eflin, who came over from the Philadelphia Phillies on the richest contract signed by an outside free agent in Tampa Bay Rays history. We'll see if he makes good on their investment. But let's kind of break down what this matchup's going to look like. Lineups have already been introduced. Rangers are going to kick things off with Simeon once again at second base. Seager is your shortstop. Grossman, who gets the start once again at DH. They make no lineup changes after the success that they had yesterday. Even with the runners left on base, with the runners in scoring position, they weren't able to find a lot of success. They did get one big hit, but outside of that, overall, the lineup struggled in that regard. They've gone 4 games without hitting a home run. That's good for the longest streak in their season so far. So we'll see if they get off the schneid and hit a couple home runs today. Adolis Garcia is in right. Nathaniel Lowe is at first. Jonah Heim is catching. Leody Tavares gets the start in center. And Josh Young once again tied for his lowest start in the lineup anyway at third base. And then Evan Carter, who had a great game 1, had a couple of doubles, couple walks in that one. Could say that he was the biggest difference offensively for the Rangers in game 1. And as I said, Nathan Eovaldi will be on the mound for the Rangers. We'll dig into him and Zach Eflin here in just a moment. But for the Rays, they counter with Yandy Diaz, Randy Rosarena, and Harold Ramirez. Basically the same 1-2-3. Then they get a little bit different. They go with Josh Lowe out in right. Paredes moves down a spot, is at third base. Margot starts in center today. No Jose Siri today. Meade once again is at second. Walls at short. And Pinto once again does the catching. As for your starters, Zach Eflin gets the start here for the Tampa Bay Rays. He has a sub-2 ERA versus postseason teams this year. You might have seen that all over the news today, but we'll see how he's able to perform. On the season anyway, he has a 3.5 ERA in 31 games, started in 177 and 2/3 innings. Has 186 strikeouts and a whip of around 1. Very good starting pitcher for them, but of course they do miss Shane McClanahan. They would really have liked to have him at the top of this rotation going into a postseason series. And just one other bit of news for the Tampa Bay Rays, they have gone 6 consecutive games without a victory in the postseason. They really need a victory in the most desperate way. You also have to look at the issues that they have with their lineup. It's a very difficult proposition to ask them to really come through with their power numbers having dropped off. No Wander Franco in this lineup, and a lot of the guys that they have actually on the roster right now in their postseason lineup have fewer than 30 games played. Rangers do have one in Evan Carter, but we saw how well he performed. The Rays are asking of that of about 3 or 4 different guys on their postseason roster. We'll see how they perform. Now, as far as Zach Eflin, anyway, over his last 7 starts has a 3.2 ERA. He's pitched very well, 39 1/3 innings, giving up 35 hits in that time span as well with 50 strikeouts. So strikeouts have ticked up as of late. Now for Nathan Eovaldi, obviously a great first half. Was a Cy Young candidate, but it's been a tale of 2 seasons for him. His last good start, effective start anyway, came against the Tampa Bay Rays in July. That's really the last time we saw the Nathan Eovaldi that we saw in the first half. We saw a little bit of that in this last start against the Seattle Mariners, but it fell off a cliff in the 3rd inning, and just lost command. wasn't as sharp. But the one thing he does have working in his favor is that the Rays do chase the most out of all Major League teams, while the Rangers do not chase the most out of all Major League teams. So it'll be kind of a juxtaposition of the 2 teams. Which strategy works better? Do the aggressive bats, the high swing probability of the Tampa Bay Rays work in their favor, or does it eventually get them behind in the count against Nathan Eovaldi? So we'll see how things go. A little bit of news on Max Scherzer. We'll get into that one here in just a moment. But for Nathan Eovaldi, looking at his last few starts anyway, you can see how poorly it's really gone for him. Rangers are got to have that bullpen ready to go. You've got to think Andrew Heaney, Martin Perez, Cody Bradford could all be called on out of that bullpen early. I'd imagine Dane Dunning is likely the Game 3 starter for them. Either that or one of Heaney or Perez if they don't win today. But I'm sure the Rangers are right now counting on winning this game and trying to rest up for the next series and possibly have Dunning start game 1, Montgomery 2, however they decide to roll it out. But should be a very competitive game. Looks like we're about 10 minutes away from first pitch here. But the update on Max Scherzer is that he threw another bullpen session today. He's thrown 3 times now total. He was caught throwing on the field without having any consent from the doctors or any impetus from the team. Just said, hey, I felt fine for a couple days, so I wanted to see if I could. He did. He was able to. No pain. So therefore, the team said, well, if you can throw a little bit, why don't we try just to throw a light bullpen? Nothing hard, max effort, nothing like that, and just see how it responds. Scherzer said, okay, so he went to the bullpen, tried to throw. They didn't try to do any max effort pitches there at all. They just wanted to see if he could throw, and he was able to throw, but he wasn't able to get any force behind it. He wasn't having the same strength that he had, so he needed some time. It's been about a week since that last bullpen session. The bullpen session that he threw today, about 3-4 hours ago, was absolutely great for the Texas Rangers. Great news for them because that bullpen went absolutely great. He was able to throw with a lot more strength, a lot like he was able to throw during the regular season. He felt like he was back to his old self from a strength perspective. Now, of course, does he have the endurance to be able to throw 5-6 innings right now? Probably not. He might have to be, throw another bullpen or 2 until he's actually ready to take the hill. But I think the Rangers are going to be a little bit cautious here. I would not expect him to start in the division series, at least right now. But I wouldn't rule out the championship series. And I'd say right now, if the Rangers make it to the World Series, I would say it's a safe bet to say Max Scherzer is back for the World Series. But right now, Scherzer looks like he's on the up and up. The article from Evan Grant today, the Texas Rangers beat reporter, said don't even rule him out for the division series if the series goes along, because as quickly as Max Scherzer's been healing, what originally was thought to be a season-ending injury for the regular season and possibly the entirety of the postseason, now seems to be on the fast road to recovery. And who knows, Max Scherzer's one of those big-time gamers left here in the game that you just never want to count out. So he's had injury issues each of the last 2 years. Obviously had his injury issue here late in September with that triceps injury. And so far, so good on the Max Scherzer front. Rangers, of course, have a 1-0 lead here in the wild card round. If they win today, I'm sure the extra rest would be very helpful to their rotation. We'll see if John Gray is able to make a comeback as well for them. But this is a team that's been decimated in that starting rotation with injuries. Same with the Tampa Bay Rays. They've been suffering tons of injuries right now as well, both position players and in their rotation. They don't have Wander Franco because of an off-the-field concern. It'll be shocking, honestly, at this point if he comes back at all at any point in his career because of all the allegations against him right now. But should be a very good game. The other results from yesterday, Twins actually got the victory, their first victory after 18 straight postseason losses. I'm sure you saw a few notifications about that. Royce Lewis, the leader for the Twins in that one with a couple of home runs, doing all of the scoring for the Twins in that one. They took that one. The surprise of the day has to come out of Milwaukee, where they had their ace on the mound and their fully rested bullpen. They used both and were unable to get the victory against a starter who had an ERA north of 5.5. Instead, the Diamondbacks were able to take Game 1 6-3, and the Brewers actually are without Brandon Woodruff for Game 2, likely for the entirety of the postseason. Got to think this thing tilts severely towards Arizona in that series. We saw Philadelphia also take care of business against the Miami Marlins. So you see all kinds of headlines about them, selling out for the long ball, etc. Well, they have some good contact hitters in their lineup right now that struggled in Game 1 against Philadelphia. Zach Wheeler was absolutely dealing in that one. We'll see if that holds true against Aaron Nola in Game 2. But so far, the Texas Rangers have a 1-0 lead along with the Twins, the Diamondbacks, and the Philadelphia Phillies. Should be a great day for wildcard baseball. We're about 5 minutes away from first pitch here. Rangers looking to sweep the Tampa Bay Rays. Rays have some big questions if they lose this game about what their future is going to hold, not just from their position players with Wander Franco's off-the-field concerns, but what about the success, the model the Tampa Bay Rays have really built over the last 10 years or so. We've seen them be able to make a shoestring budget work, but over the last 3 years, this would have marked 3 quick exits here in the postseason with really high-caliber teams on a shoestring budget. As I mentioned, they haven't really made some big-time investments. The biggest investment that I mentioned from outside the team came in the form of Zach Eflin this year. Do they need to go out and pursue higher quality free agents? Do they need to avoid all the big-time trades that they've done in the past to try to save salary, etc.? Or do they continue with this model? That's going to be some of the bigger questions that come this offseason if the Rays lose this one against the Texas Rangers. In fact, if they lose this series, I think that's going to be asked about them, whether or not this is the issue going forward. Not to mention all the injury issues that they have going as well. Sure, you could blame the injuries, but everybody's dealing with injuries. Nobody knows better than the Texas Rangers after they lost 5 of their 6 All-Stars after the All-Star break for significant periods of time. They've been without Jacob deGrom for a significant period of time as well. Max Scherzer's missed some time. So nobody needs to tell the Rangers twice about the impact of injuries. The Rays are right there in that same boat. But so far, Rangers have gotten the best of them in Game 1. They were able to squeak out a 4-0 victory. Their 2 trade deadline acquisitions in Jordan Montgomery and Aroldis Chapman really holding it down for 8 of the 9 innings pitched. And this much maligned bullpen was able to come through and throw a scoreless 9th as well. Good job on Jose Leclerc yesterday. Looks like we're just about set here. Got about 4 minutes until first pitch. Let me get this fixed up for us. There we go. As they show the opening montage, they're showing clips from the first game anyway. A little bit disappointing anyway if you're a Tampa Bay Rays fan that only 19,000 people showed up. That's the least attended postseason game in over 30 years. We always knew attendance was a problem during the season for the Rays, but they've never had a problem selling out in the postseason. They always had a vibrant environment there, but I mean, you just look at the issues that they have on this team, not just with injuries, not just with the off-the-field issues of Wander Franco, but now they're struggling with power, they're struggling getting on base, and yesterday they struggled defensively as well. We didn't even talk about the 4 errors that they had in the game because even with those or without those 4 errors, they still managed to lose that game without having those 4 errors. So it's going to be a difficult uphill battle, I believe, for the Tampa Bay Rays to overcome here today. I think Nathan Eovaldi, who really likes to work around the edges of the zone, just like Martin Perez of the Rangers and Zach Eflin. Martin Perez and Eflin in the top 5 of all of Major League Baseball as far as locating pitches on the outside of the zone, getting people to chase outside of the zone. The Rangers really succeed at avoiding the swing and miss on pitches outside of the zone, while the Rays have a propensity to chase. So we'll see if Eovaldi takes advantage of that today. Winner of this series will face the Baltimore Orioles. We'll see how Baltimore handles some postseason, handles making it to the postseason, and if they're able to have some success against the winner of this series. Looks like it's Sean McDonough, Tim Kirkchin, and Jessica Mendoza in the booth for this one on ABC. Appreciate you guys joining us today. I know a lot of you guys are at work, unable to watch the game at home, so we appreciate you guys taking the time to watch with us. And should be getting underway here momentarily. Again, Rangers lineup. They will start off with Marcus Semien, who went 0 for 4 with a walk yesterday. Left 5 runners on base as well. Really had a poor Game 1 by his estimation. Corey Seager hit 2 for 4. He had a pretty good Game 1, but did strike out once on when he was chasing. We'll see if the continued strategy that we've seen over the last week or so against Corey Seager, as far as forcing him to go outside of the zone to swing at pitches, continues to work there. The 2 hits that he did have yesterday were pitches inside the strike zone. Corey Seager, anything in the zone is a pitch he can drive. Outside, inside, soft, hard, up, down. Doesn't matter. Corey Seager seeing red right now when it's inside that zone. You have to be able to make him chase if you're a Tampa Bay Rays fan. Robbie Grossman in the lineup for his ability to draw walks, work the count, that kind of thing. We'll see if that works again with Zach Eflin here today. That was the strategy against Tyler Glasnow yesterday for the Texas Rangers, is forcing them to throw pitches, forcing them to get deep into counts, those types of things. We'll see if the strategy works once again. Adolis Garcia gets the start out there in right. Went 1 for 5 yesterday. Really didn't drive the ball as well as they had hoped, I think, but we'll see how he performs in Game 2. Nathaniel Lowe had a base hit yesterday. He's been one of the Rangers that's really struggled over the past month and a half. Had an RBI yesterday as well, so we'll see if he continues that success that he had in Game 1. Jonah Heim had a decent Game 1 as well with a base hit. Leody Taveras had a couple of hits yesterday. He played very well. Had a couple of strikeouts in that one as well, so we'll see how Taveras does in Game 2. Josh Young struggled in his first taste of postseason baseball, still has yet to get a base hit, but did get the scoring started for Texas yesterday with a sacrifice fly in the second inning. And as I mentioned, Evan Carter went 2 for 2 yesterday, couple of doubles, couple of walks. He was fantastic, had a stolen base, had a great defensive play out there in left, and had an error, so did a little bit of everything yesterday for the Texas Rangers. He was the difference in the game offensively for the Rangers yesterday. We'll see if he continues to have that big of an impact the rest of the way. And as I said, Nathan Eovaldi gets the start for Texas. Looks like they're in their final commercial break before we get first pitch here. Let us know in the chat who you're rooting for. Hit that heart in the chat if you're rooting for the Rangers. Hit that 100 if you're rooting for the Rays. Should be a good game here. Rays fighting for their postseason lives, hoping to continue to stay alive for one more day. Game 3 would be tomorrow. Unfortunately, I will not be able to do that one for you, as I will be working just like the rest of you guys, unfortunately. But going to have some fun here with Game 2. Hopefully the Rangers are able to advance. You have to pardon my excitement. Two of my favorite childhood teams look like they have a chance to advance for the first time in my life period while I've been alive. 1991 was the last time the Minnesota Twins advanced in postseason series. That was a year before I was born, so safe to say it'd be nice to see the Twins move on in a series. I've never really seen it. I was literally a year old when the last time they did it was, so we'll see if they do so again today. They have an opportunity to take on the Toronto Blue Jays here in about an hour and a half. We'll see if they can take advantage of their early 1-0 series lead. For the Texas Rangers, it's been since 2015 since they won a postseason series. It's been a minute, so a little bit after I graduated high school, the last time I got to see Texas move on in the postseason, so I'm a little bit hyped to see not one but two of my favorite childhood teams move on, so should be a good day either way. Good day of postseason baseball no matter what. Some good wild card games. We've seen 9 of the last 12 postseason games, or postseason wild card series, go into only 2 games. They didn't actually force a game 3. It's only happened a few times, so it's still early in this new process for this style of postseason, so we'll see if that holds true again this year. We've seen a lot of pundits out there picking Philadelphia to go ahead and continue the sweep there. We've seen a lot of people also pick Arizona to finish off the series now that Corbin Burns has already been burned by the Brewers to go ahead and finish that one off as well. A lot of pundits out there predicting this series to actually go 3 because of the issues with Nathan Eovaldi and the struggles he's had in the second half and the success Zach Eflin has had as far as pitching against postseason caliber talent so far this season. So we'll see if that holds true today. As far as the Twins, I think they're starting a Cy Young caliber pitcher today anyway in Sonny Gray with a sub-2 or sub-3 ERA anyway. He is probably going to finish in the top 3 of the American League Cy Young voting. Doubt he'll win it, but he's up there with a chance to win it with Jose Barrios, the counter for Toronto in that one. And going back into Minnesota, a tough environment where he's actually familiar pitching, but he's never had it in a way that's hostile like it's going to be later on today. That crowd in Minnesota was fantastic, had a huge impact on that game yesterday. We'll see if they do so again later on. Looks like we're just about ready to get underway. Randy Rosarena jumping into the arms of Adolis Garcia as they have some fun. Those guys are big-time friends off the field. Looks like we're just about ready. Marcus Semien digging into the box. Semien, Seager, Grossman, Garcia, Loheim, Tavares, Young, and Carter for Texas today. Seager just missed a home run yesterday. We'll see if the Rangers are able to finally hit one out. Again, they've tied their longest streak of the season with 4 games without a home run. Eflin takes the hill. 31 starts of 3.5 ERA, 1 whip basically, an opponent batting average of .235, and opponent on-base percentage of .264. All of those numbers are top 10. We'll see if Semien ambushes the ball here early once again. And he does. Lines this one out to right, but this one's going to be right into the glove of Lowe, only a couple of steps back. And quickly, Marcus Semien is 0 for 1. Thought we might see a little bit more patient Marcus Semien today, but doesn't look like that's going to be the strategy for him. He's seeing a ball in the middle of the zone and not going to waste it. So I get the strategy there as far as swinging, but 0 for 4 yesterday with a walk, not exactly boding well so far for him. That one finishes outside the zone here for ball 1 to Corey Seager, and we are underway. Nothing here early. During the season, Seager finished second in batting average to Yandy Diaz. This one's lined out to center over the head. It looks like Margot just kind of tripped up at the last second. It will be a stand-up double for Seager. I thought that was going to be caught by Margot, but he kind of tripped himself up a little bit there, crossing over his legs as he went back to try to catch that one. He tried to go backpedaling back and get it and thought he wasn't going to get it in time, so he kind of, as he tried to turn at the last second, try to get there in time, just wasn't going to get there. Rangers have a runner on now, 1 away. Runner in scoring position. We'll see if the Rangers are able to capitalize on that today. Robbie Grossman up, hitting from the left side here, the designated hitter. Takes a strike, fastball right at the top of the zone on the outside corner, 0-1. We saw the defensive issues for Tampa Bay had a franchise high for a postseason with errors in a game at 4. And honestly, there should have been more than that. Misplayed balls, etc. Outs that should have been more than one out, should have been double plays. Saw a wild pitch as well, score a run that did not count as an error. The 1-1 here popped up by Grossman, first base side, foul territory, and caught for the second out here by Diaz. It'll be up to Adolis Garcia to drive in Seager here. So again, Rangers struggling with runners in scoring position so far today. 0 for 1. First pitch. Looks like that outside corner is open today. That pitch was right on the corner, maybe a hair, and I mean a hair off the outside corner. 0-1 here to Adolis. Eflin working quickly. The 0-1. Cut fastball here, right on the outside corner again, swung on and missed by Adolis. Quickly 0-2. Trying to get him to chase here. Fastball a little further outside, and he lays off. 1-2. The crowd that is there looks like they're actually into it right now. We'll see what the attendance numbers are, but as I said, lowest attendance for a postseason game in over 30 years yesterday for the Tampa Bay Rays at only 19,000. I understand it's a 2 o'clock start on a Tuesday, but for the postseason, they usually sell those out, even in Tampa Bay. Another fastball off the outside corner, a little bit closer this time, but unable to entice him to swing. It's now 2-2. Got 20 of you guys with us right now. Appreciate it. Make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe if you haven't already. The 2-2. Little roller out to short. The flip onto first, and the Rays have a shutdown first inning here for Zach Eflin. No runs, 1 hit, no errors for Texas in the top half of the first. We go to the bottom half. It'll be Diaz, Arozarena, and Ramirez for the Rays. Remember to hit that heart if you're rooting for the Rangers. Hit that 100 if you're rooting for the Rays. Welcome back, Tampa Bay podcast. Appreciate you joining us. I know it's a Wednesday afternoon for a lot of you guys. A lot of y'all are at work. Appreciate you guys making us a part of your day. Game is on ABC, so I know you guys have some opportunities to watch it out there. But if you're working, you're stuck with me. So I appreciate you, making the best out of it and spending some time with us here. Josh Lowe, the brother of Nathaniel Lowe, getting the start for the Rays, will hit cleanup for the Rays in the next half inning. Appreciate that. Thank you for the likes. Appreciate that. We'll see how the Rays are able to handle today. They could not muster anything offensively. Much was made about the success of Jordan Montgomery yesterday, the defense of the Rangers. Meanwhile, the defense of the Rays was absolutely absent yesterday. We'll see if they're able to play a little bit better brand of baseball. That was a very un-Tampa Bay Ray-like performance. Usually you can count on them for good pitching, good defense, and timely hitting. They had none of those yesterday. Glasnow yesterday gave him as best he could for 5 innings. For some reason, they brought him back out for the 6th. I thought that was a mistake by Kevin Cash. But the couple of walks he gave up, he literally had nothing left in the tank at that point. And we'll see if they're able to correct the issues today, offensively at least. But again, this team does like to chase, and Eovaldi really does like to work just outside of the zone. So if he can entice those hitters to chase those balls outside of the zone, he should have a very successful day. We saw that success even with diminished velocity in his final start that he made in July against this Tampa Bay team. Diaz is going to have to pick it up here if the Rays are hoping to continue in this postseason. He did not have a good game 1, went hitless. So did Ramirez. Arozarena got a base hit in the first. In his second at-bat, got a double. Outside of that, was a little bit quiet after that. They squandered some opportunities. First pitch here from Eovaldi. Grounder through the right side between first and second, and the Rays have their first hit of the game. Diaz getting aboard. That's exactly what you want to see if you're a Rays fan. Yandy Diaz had a .330 batting average this season. Gets his first hit of this postseason. And Randy will be next. Took advantage of Eovaldi wanting to get over for that first pitch strike. We saw the issues that Eovaldi had against the Houston Astros when he deployed this strategy, trying to get over early. Splitter here, fouled off by Rosarena. Aggressive Tampa Bay lineup so far, at least through the first two pitches of the game. Fastball off the plate inside, 1-1. A little too far in to entice a swing from Randy. 5-pitch pitcher for Eovaldi. 4-seamer, a splitter, a cutter, a curve, and a slide. Very rarely uses the slide. The rest a pretty fair mix. Primarily a fastball pitcher. Upwards of 97, 98 at times when he has his velocity. Curveball there on the outside corner. A little bit of a hanger, but Randy taken all the way. It's now 1-2. Swing and a miss at that one just beneath the zone, and the Rangers' strategy of forcing him to swing outside of the zone and chase pitches seems to be working, at least through Rosarena there for the first out of the game for the Rangers. Eovaldi at 5 pitches so far. As I said, it's really early here in the bottom half of the first. But it is the postseason. You're not going to see these starters stay in long if they start to falter. Ramirez is next. Swing and a miss, chasing that one up high. They're going to say it was foul tipped into the glove. Either way, it's 0-1. Eovaldi with one of the best splitters in the game. Spin rate almost 300 revolutions higher than average in Major League Baseball. Another chase here, splitter in the dirt. 0-2. Good block there by Heim. And once again, another chase here by the Rays. They are coming out very aggressive. That was the book from a lot of guys that I saw around the sport saying that they needed to do. Rangers looking for a strikeout or a double play here. We'll see if they get it. The 0-2. Rolled out to short. Seager to Semien on to first. And that's an easy 6-4-3 double play. Couldn't draw it up any better if you're Texas. No runs, 1 hit, no errors for either side. As we go to the top of the second, 0-0 is our score. Should be a good game. Strategy seems to be working for Texas, taking advantage of the aggressive nature of this Tampa Bay Rays team, swinging at pitches outside of the zone. They did have the early success with Diaz jumping on the first pitch, kind of a get-me-over fastball to start the game for Eovaldi, but outside of that, Eovaldi looked sharp, forcing them to chase. The one thing that this Rays team is not is patient. They chase the most out of the entire Major League Baseball this year, and the Rangers, meanwhile, are the team that chases the least. So something that the Houston Astros really had perfected over the last couple of years is not chasing pitches outside of the zone. The Rangers really took part of that, especially over the last week of the season, making a concerted effort to avoid chasing pitches outside of the zone. And kind of a juxtaposition of two teams. Which team is going to lay off those pitches today outside of the zone, and which team is going to chase? I think that's going to be the difference in today's game. And so far, 0-0 here early. But got to like at least where you stand if you're on either side of this one so far. Rays were able to jump on Eovaldi early, but the swing and miss seems to be a little bit more prevalent than it was yesterday against Jordan Montgomery. They seem to be a little bit more patient than they were today here early at least. And then today for the Rangers, Seager getting that one all the way out to center, missing a home run by about 25 feet or so. Kind of got Margot turned around on that one. More defensive issues anyway today, but not an error yet. We'll see if the Rays can at least play error-free ball today. But again, I think the difference in the game is going to come down to which team chases the most and which team does not. So we shall see. Rangers are going to have to hit with runners in scoring position, though. That's something they did not do yesterday. That's something they have not done over the last week. That's something they have not done basically since the calendar turned to August. It's been a while. The first half of the year, they were doing it at a clip unlike any other team in baseball history, save for the 21 Yankees. That was obviously not sustainable. We knew there were going to be some regression, but not necessarily to this level. So we shall see. Appreciate you joining us, Britt and Thomas. All sports are rigged? Absolutely not. First pitch to low, outside. One of the more patient hitters here in the lineup for the Rangers. Kind of embodies that patient mentality the Rangers have developed so far this year. Swing and a miss at that one right at the top of the zone. Got a cutter. Kind of hung that one a little bit at the top of the zone, though. Eflin working quickly. And another one misses outside. Now 2-1. Low hitting .262 on the season. This one's lined right back to the screen. Another cutter hanging at the top of the zone. Low missed it, though. Unhappy he missed that hanger. Another sinker misses the zone, trying to get him to chase. Now 3-2. We'll see what happens here with Eflin, if he wants to try to entice him to swing and miss, or if he wants to challenge him in the zone. The 3-2 here. Little cutter at the bottom of the zone, lined out to center. This time Margot has this one lined up and makes the catch. Doesn't stumble over his own feet this time. One away here in the top of the second inning. Jonah Heim due next. Well, I mean, they still have to hit the ball and pitch the ball. I don't know what you're trying to say as far as rigged. You still have to be able to score. You still have to be able to, let the other team let you win if you think it's rigged. Little grounder foul, and it's 1-1. Right on the outside corner. Nice pitch there from Eflin. The 1-1 here from Heim, or to Heim anyway. Nice sweeper right in there at the outside corner. Beautiful pitch. Heim takes his time here. Eflin pitching very well here early. It's exactly what the Rays needed out of this one. Another sinker misses in. It's now 2-2. He has not been able to locate that pitch yet. We'll see if the Rangers recognize that as this game goes along. Not sure that was really a sinker, though. That kind of looked more like a straight fastball. 2-2 here to Jonah. Had a hit yesterday. And hard hit ball past the first baseman and into right. Has a base hit here today. Another one-out hit for Texas. Leody Taveras due up next. Had a couple of hits yesterday. Also had a strikeout with a righty on the mound. He will bat from the left side. Maybe in the 80s, Thomas. Maybe in the 80s. 70s, 60s, 50s. First pitch misses low, unable to entice a chase. Taveras nods in agreement on that one. This one he does get a chase, fouls off the curveball, 1-1. I think all four major sports do a really great job. The hypervigilance against allowing those types of influences to impact their game are significantly better than they ever have been. So I don't think we have to worry about that, Tom. 1-1 here to Leody. Rays looking for a double play of their own. Hard hit right at the first baseman, caught out of midair. Diving play by Yandy Diaz, steps on first place to double off Jonah Heim, and that'll end the inning. Nice work there by Diaz. Great to bottom of the second. Appreciate you guys joining us once again. I know a lot of you guys are busy at work. If you're rooting for your Rangers, as I said, spam that heart button in the chat. And if you're rooting for your Rays, hit that 100. Good start for both teams today. At least from the defensive side of things, Rangers off to a good start as far as making hard contact, working the count a little bit. Not nearly to the level of success that they had yesterday against Glasnow in the first couple of innings. But either way, it's looking good for both teams here early. Minnesota will play next after this. Well, in the middle of this one, they'll get started anyway. Twins looking to advance for the first time since 1991. Texas looking for their first advancement since 2015. We'll see if they can do so here against the Rays. Rays hoping to avoid another early playoff exit, even though they have some injury issues, Wander Franco's off-the-field issues. They still would have some significant questions to answer this offseason if they get bounced quickly in the postseason by the Texas Rangers, who came into this postseason scuffling to be able to put runs across, to drive in runners, to pitch well. They have their own injury issues as well. And yet, if the Tampa Bay Rays are bounced early, there's going to have to be some questions that have to be answered by that front office, not just on what's going to happen with Wander Franco going forward, not just with the injury issues around McClanahan, the rest of it, but what about the strategy as a whole? Does this continue to work, or like Oakland, has Moneyball or whatever Tampa Bay's been doing over the last 10 years, has that finally run its course? Those are some bigger questions that are going to have to be answered if they can't find success here against the Rangers today. Alrighty, Eovaldi back out there here, threw 8 pitches in that first inning, 7 strikes. Had a base hit off his first pitch anyway, but had that double play ground ball to end it. Lowe takes strike 1 on the outside corner, 94-mile-an-hour fastball. I'm not a big numerology guy. That one misses a little further outside on that 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Looking good for Eovaldi so far with that velocity. We saw him touch 97 in his last start against Seattle, when he did start to lose his effectiveness. So we'll see if he is able to maintain that level of velocity here early. Another one misses below the zone. Good job by Lowe, remaining patient. Well, some things are numbers. I mean, you can make numbers out of everything. But, jersey numbers, win-loss records don't impact whether somebody's going to get a base hit. High fly ball, medium left field. Carter waiting for it, settles under it, and makes the catch for the first out here in the bottom of the second inning. Paredes up next. Had a good season this year for them, kind of their version of Adolis Garcia in their lineup. They're without Brandon Lau right now. They're without Manny Margot, or without Wander Franco, excuse me. A lot of holes in this lineup right now due to injuries. McClanahan, of course, is out. First pitch here to Paredes. Strike on the outside corner. Beautifully located cut fastball there. See if he follows it up with another cutter or a straight fastball on the outside part of the plate. Maybe even a little further off. They go with the curveball that bounces in the dirt way too far outside of the zone. 1-1. Scary note here if you're a Rays fan. They have yet to score a run in their last 28 1/3 postseason innings. Ouch. That offense has just disappeared when it comes to postseason play. Another cutter. This one misses about a foot off the plate. 2-1. Eovaldi missing with location here. See if he's able to bounce back. Good tough splitter there. Is able to get him to chase and foul it off. Evens it up at 2-2. See if they challenge him with a fastball up here. Everything's been down, low, a little bit away as well. See if they go up and in with a fastball. Nope, they go right back to the splitter. See if they can get him to chase. He does not. Able to lay off that one. 3-2 now. Just a little bit lower than the last one. Couldn't entice him to chase. Check swing was able to hold. Brady's taken all the way, and he dots up that outside corner. 96 on the radar gun. Velocity looking better and better. Eovaldi in years past has gotten stronger as the game's gone along, which I think there's only 2 pitchers that have really done that, maybe 3 in my memory of watching baseball. Justin Verlander's done that better than pretty much anybody else that I can ever remember. Pitching in a game, he would start out around 98 with the Detroit Tigers, and by the end of the game, he's over 100. Nathan Eovaldi's in that category. I suppose you could include Roger Clemens, but the last name I was thinking of was Max Scherzer. that would get stronger as the game goes on. This one bounces in the dirt there to Margot, evening the count 1-1. Appreciate you guys joining us. 2 away here in the bottom of the second. Spam that heart if you're rooting for your Rangers, the 100 if you're rooting for your Rays. Appreciate you guys making some time to watch this game with us. This one just off the outside corner. Good cut fastball there. Margot able to lay off. Nice patience there by Margot. See if he can make amends for that earlier foible out there in center field on a fly ball he should have caught off the bat of Corey Seager. Kind of tripped over his own feet a little bit and stumbled, unable to make a run and catch that one. That one misses inside, now 3-1. Eovaldi up to 22 pitches. The 3-1. Challenges him there with a middle fastball. Margot fouls it back, unhappy he missed his pitch there. Takes a minute to kind of collect his thoughts. Digs back into the box here. Eovaldi sets. And the pitch. This one lined just past the glove of Semien, and he does make amends for that earlier snafu in the outfield. Gets a base hit here with 2 away. Have a good one, Thomas. Keeping the inning alive here for the Rays. Eovaldi at 24 pitches now through an inning and 2/3. We'll see how Eovaldi does today. I'm really curious to see how he gets through the second, third, and fourth and see how he's able to progress beyond that. He hasn't really gone very deep in a game since he's come back from his injury. First pitch here to Meade. Takes it all the way, right on the outside corner. 0-1. Meade, one of the guys that's been called up recently, has only played 24 games this year, hitting .253. Chases this one. Good curveball, low and away. 0-2. Eovaldi looking to end this at bat quickly. See if he challenges him with the fastball up and in. We saw that from Montgomery, kind of mixing up locations consistently. So far, Eovaldi's like to double down on what's worked. We'll see if that happens or if they go back with a strategy they deployed yesterday. The 0-2 pitch. Curveball not very competitive there. Trying to entice a swing and miss. Wasn't willing to live with any contact that did result, so it's now 1-2. Rays in a tough spot. Backs against the wall. Loser of this one. Got to think is going to be in rough shape for Game 3 if it does get that far, if Texas is the loser. But again, if the Rays lose this one on that one, low and in the dirt, swing and a miss there, that's going to do it there in the bottom half of the second inning. Another strikeout there for Eovaldi. But if the Rays lose this one, some serious questions both about the strategy of this team, about their overall strategy as an organization going forward. Does this strategy continue to work? Their offensive numbers have struggled the last 3 postseasons. They've struggled the last 3 postseasons to do anything. What a shock. And, they did make it to the World Series a few years back, 3-4 years ago. But it's been a minute since they've had some success in the postseason. They're still a good team. They still develop really well. They're still one of the best as far as developing pitching specifically. But offensively, that's where they've really hit kind of the snag. They developed Wander Franco. He's not in the lineup and very well may not be back in the lineup ever for this Rays team. But no runs, 2 hits, no errors for Texas through 2. Meanwhile, the Rays, no runs, 2 hits, no errors for them. Twins about to get underway here in about an hour against those Toronto Blue Jays. Blue Jays looking to stave off elimination. They go with Jose Barrios, the former Minnesota Twin, on the mound versus Sonny Gray, American League Cy Young candidate for the Twins. Everybody was sleeping on the Minnesota Twins. They've really played really great baseball in the second half of the season, one of the better records in all of Major League Baseball. Of course, they played in kind of a rollover division, so you can understand why people were hesitant to really pick them to win, especially against a team that people thought coming into the year was going to be one of the favorites for the World Series, being the Toronto Blue Jays. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. Blue Jays struggled once again for back-to-back seasons to really live up to the high, lofty expectations people had for them. And we'll see what they do next year. But right now, their backs are against the wall. Twins looking to advance in the postseason for the first time since 1991. Looks like we're about to get underway here in the third. Josh Young due up first as they show highlights of that great double play, diving catch by Yandy Diaz, doubling off Jonah Heim at first base. Eflin at 25 pitches through 2 innings so far. First pitch here outside, working low and away. What a shock here to Josh Young. That's the one area in his swing that he has to work on. I'm sure the Rays will continue to pound that pitch low and away, forcing him to try to, reach for it, swing and miss at it, chase it. The 1-0 here to Josh Young. Had that sacrifice fly in the second yesterday. Hard hit, left field. This one's going to get down. A dive there by Rosarena. Goes off of his face and rolls away. Young will easily get into second. I imagine he'll stop there as Rosarena is able to get the ball quickly there. And a nice leadoff double here in the third for Josh Young. Rangers once again have something cooking. Have a hit in all 3 innings so far. A good gamble there, I suppose, by Randy Rosarena. Got lucky with it bouncing off of his... Nope, it didn't bounce off his face. It bounced off his glove. At first blush, it looked like from that camera angle, it just looked like it hit off of his forehead and off to the side. But no, it was off the glove. Carter is up next. Had a great first game in the postseason. A great debut. A couple of walks, a couple of doubles yesterday. One of the most patient hitters the Rangers have been able to develop in their minor league system. And they'll have another one coming in Wyatt Langford next year. He will very likely break camp with them. Carter will probably be one of the leadoff hitters for the Rangers next year. Carter fouled off that first one, and the sweeper finishes in the dirt, 1-1. Rangers looking to get on the board here early. Fastball at the very top of the zone, strike there. It's 1-2 here to Carter, taking that one. Hey neighbor, welcome back, Dreadnought. Curveball misses low and away. Carter spits on that one. 2-2. Rangers looking to win their first series since 2015. Rays looking to avoid another early playoff exit. The 2-2 pitch misses outside. Another curveball. 3-2 now. Carter does seem to end up with a full count most of his at-bats. Has healthy power numbers as well. We saw that evidenced by the 2 doubles yesterday. 5 homers in his tiny regular season experience. I think he only played in like 15, 20 games. The 3-2 pitch just off the plate inside, and I mean just. And he works another walk. The Rays just can't seem to retire him. And it'll be up to Marcus Semien. Runners on first and second here early. Yesterday he went 0 for 4, left 5 runners on base with a walk. We'll see if Semien does a little bit more damage than he did yesterday, which is to say anything would be more than yesterday. Cutter there right in the middle of the plate, taken for strike 1. 0-1 here to Semien. Looks like that pitch kind of locked him up a little bit. I don't know what's up with Semien. He seems to be a little bit off of his game the last couple of days. Another pitch called a strike. Nice sinker there right at the bottom of the zone. 0-2. I think Semien was taken all the way on that one either way. The 0-2 pitch here to Marcus. Corey Seager waiting on deck. Looks like that cutter just kind of hung up there and Semien just missed it, fouled it off down the first base side, out of play. Again, Semien just looks like he's, out of sorts up there just a little bit, guessing, whatever the case may be, just a little bit off, not reading the right pitch, not seeing the ball well. It's something. I don't know what, though. That's the best swing he's put on a ball in a while. This one's lifted foul by about 2 or 3 inches, bounces out of play, and it will remain 0-2, but that's the best swing he's put on a ball so far this series. Kind of jammed him a little bit even still. Lowe unable to get over there in time to make a catch on it. Runners will retreat back to first and second. Looking at that replay, looks like it missed by about a foot from having a ground rule double. Semien digs back in after catching his breath from running down the line. The set here by Eflin, and the pitch. Curveball rolled out to third, flipped to second, on to first, and another double play. Ouch. Just when things are going bad for Marcus, they go bad. Really been one of the most consistent players in the Rangers lineup, but really has struggled over the last couple of days. Tough time for him to really struggle as well, though. Looks like they're going to intentionally walk Corey Seager here. They do not want to have to face him in an RBI situation. Runners will now be on the corners with 2 away. Robbie Grossman due up. Not surprising that they intentionally walk Seager there. Why waste one when you're trying to work around Seager anyway, to where you might have a pass ball, a wild pitch, and allow the first run of the game to come in? Just go ahead and put him on and allow Eflin to do what he's been doing, and that's throw strikes. 24 of 39 pitches so far have been for strikes. Strike one there here to Robbie Grossman. Nice cutter on the outside part of the plate, belt high. 0-1. Grossman, though, does come into the game with some power, a .238 average, 10 homers. This pitch misses up and in, 1-1. Rays looking to get out of another jam here early. Rangers did well with that yesterday as far as getting people on base, but struggled driving them in. We'll see if the Rangers can overcome that difficulty today. So far have continued to struggle with runners in scoring position. Another cutter up and in, but able to be fouled off there is Grossman. That one looked like it was just a little closer to the plate. Either way, 1-2. As this one gets out of play, about 15, make it 30 rows back. 1-2. Rays 1 strike away from getting out of this one. Started with 2 on, nobody out. Got the double play on Semien. Intentionally walked Seager, and now they're 1-2 here on Grossman. Looks like they want to get on the same page. Catcher's going to go out there and have a word with Eflin. Pinto kind of sprinting out to the side just to make sure everybody knew they were disengaging before a ball was called for a pitch timer violation. 1-2. See what their strategy is here. Curveball here down in the dirt, not chased by Grossman. Nice block there by Pinto, keeping it in front of him. If that ball goes to the backstop, it's a 1-0 game. Count evens up at 2-2. That had a lot of movement there, landing just behind the plate. The set by Eflin, and the pitch. Swing and a miss, a fastball right down Broadway. Grossman unable to make contact with it. He's struggled with pitches in the zone. He's worked the count a little bit, don't get me wrong, over the last 2 games, and that's what he's been employed to do, but tough to say that they wouldn't have been better off with Mitch Garver in the lineup. I believe he's 2 for 18 in his career against Zach Eflin. I guess that's part of the reason why they don't go with Garver. But his numbers this year against righties, 19 home runs. He's basically carried the offense in the second half of the year. So we shall see if they go with Garver at some point in this one. Either way, no runs, 3 hits, no errors for Texas through 2.5. It's a scoreless ball game. Rays counter with a couple of base hits so far today. It'll be Walls, Pinto, and then Diaz due for the Rays in the bottom half of the third. If you're joining us for the first time, make sure you hit that like and subscribe. We're going to bring you a hefty number of playoff games this year as well as bring you some football as well. So make sure you stick with us. Join us on X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it, at Upside SN, and on Facebook, Upside Sports Network. NHL is about to get underway in a little less than a week. Should be a fun season this year. Connor Bedard, the best prospect in hockey since Sidney Crosby, makes his debut against Sidney Crosby on Tuesday. Looks like we're just about back from commercial break. Eovaldi through 2 innings has thrown 28 pitches, 3 strikeouts so far. Benefited from a double play as well. Threw 8 pitches in that first inning, 20 in that second, as he struggled with his command a little bit. We'll see if he bounces back with a little bit better command here in the third. Rangers, though, have plenty of long guys out in that bullpen should they need to go that direction. Andrew Heaney, Martin Perez, Bradford, all available if they need him out of the bullpen. Chris Stratton as well. All have been comfortably used out of the bullpen before and multi-inning situations this year. But the Rangers have a very mercurial bullpen, to put it kindly. Nowhere near the level of the Rays bullpen, but they did a nice job yesterday. Araldis working a scoreless 8th, Leclerc working a scoreless 9th. Curveball there bounces behind the back foot of Walls, 1-0. Nice fastball there on the outside corner, fouled off by Walls, 1-1. Played 99 games, primarily because of the loss of Franco. Really kind of picked up his playing time, but kind of been the everyday guy there at second or at shortstop anyway in his absence. Hitting .201 on the year. The 1-1, another pitch on the outside corner, fastball a little bit higher, fouled off again. Now 1-2. See if they climb the ladder once again. Eovaldi looking for his 4th strikeout. They counter with a curveball again down in the dirt at his feet, 2-2. That curveball has not been very sharp so far. 2-2 here. And the pitch. I'm guessing that was the splitter, finished beneath the zone, entices the chase there. And that will be another strikeout. Good news for the Rangers is that this team does like to chase, so you'll see a fair amount of pitches outside of the strike zone, I imagine, today from Eovaldi or whoever comes out of the bullpen. Rays chase the most out of all teams in Major League Baseball this year, while the Rangers, again, are the least likely team to chase. They finished the season first in that category. Swing and a miss there by Pinto. Fastball in the outside corner. And this curveball, a lot tighter, finishes right at the bottom of the zone. Swing and a miss. Quickly 0-2 to Pinto, the number 9 hole hitter. Little surprised they're not going with Betancourt as their catcher today. Pinto was not very effective offensively yesterday, and I thought might be to change things up, go his direction, but instead Pinto gets back-to-back starts here. The 0-2 pitch, a 96-mile-an-hour fastball on the outside part of the plate, fouled off down the first base line. It will remain 0-2. Eovaldi looking for his 5th strikeout now. Curveball catches a little bit more of the plate just beneath the belt, fouled off again, and remains still 0-2. That pitch, though, was pulled pretty hard to the third base side. Looks like he was expecting a fastball on that one. As you see, Scherzer kind of pumping up that dugout in the Rangers side right now. That one bounces in the dirt. Good splitter, but unable to get him to chase. In case you guys missed the update on Max Scherzer, he actually threw a bullpen today about 4 or 5 hours before the game, along with Will Smith, just to try to get loose, etc. This was a lot more effort than he had thrown in his last bullpen session. He was actually able to throw with his full strength. That fastball just, and I mean just, a hair high. But Scherzer said he felt good during and after the throw or bullpen session today, so we'll see how he recovers tomorrow. You can tell he's absolutely giddy on that in that dugout right now. Swing and a miss, another high fastball gets the swing and a miss from Pinto. That's the 5th strikeout now for Eovaldi. Of the 8 outs he's gotten, 5 via the strikeout, 2 via the double play. He's got it working here early. If you're a Rangers fan, this has got to be the best you've seen him work. Looks good today. First pitch here to Diaz, misses inside by about 3 or 4 inches. Nice splitter there right at the bottom of the zone, fouled off by Diaz, 1-1. But again, we could see Max Scherzer probably by the World Series based on how he was recovering. Now I think it's likely he's back for the ALCS if the Rangers get back that far. In fact, the article today by Evan Grant said he wouldn't even rule him out for the ALDS if that series goes long and the Rangers get there. So good news from that perspective if you're a Rangers fan with all the injury issues in that rotation. About time they finally get something working in their favor as far as injury news. Again, John Gray is out as well due to injury. Fastball there misses up and in. 2-1. The 2-1 pitch, cutter, misses a little further outside of the zone. Not quite able to entice a chase there from Diaz. 3-1. Diaz had that base hit to lead off the game on a get-me-over fastball to start the game for Eovaldi. 1 of 2 hits so far for Tampa Bay. Eovaldi trying to get his first 1-2-3 inning of the day. Nice splitter beneath the zone, fouled off by Diaz. 3-2. Looks like the bat came back and nicked Heim a little bit in the mask, but he is okay. Kind of just checking out his mask, make sure everything still works. Home plate umpire gives him some time to check his mask. The 3-2 pitch. Popped up and corralled there by Seager for the 3rd out of the inning. Nice jam shot there by Eovaldi, able to record his first shutdown inning of the game. And through 3 innings, no runs, 3 hits, no errors for Texas. No runs, 2 hits, no errors for Tampa Bay. We go to the 4th, scoreless. It'll be Garcia, Lowe, and Heim for Texas. And if you're a Rangers fan, you got to be encouraged by what you've seen out of Eovaldi so far. Looks like the crisp Eovaldi that we thought we were seeing in the first half of the season. While the Rangers were putting up all kinds of great offensive numbers, it was Eovaldi and the rest of the starting pitching staff that was putting up zeros for them and really keeping them in some of those tougher games when their offense would struggle early, and then they'd have 6-7 runs go in the 6th or 7th inning. But it's that starting rotation that pitched very well to begin the season that's really fallen off a cliff. Getting that level of Nathan Eovaldi back would be money for them as they go down the stretch here. And if they get Scherzer back, the way Jordan Montgomery's pitching, it's hard to say that this, even without Jacob deGrom, that there's another team out there that could counter with a better 1-2-3-4 than what the Rangers would be able to roll out at that point. With the way Montgomery's going, Scherzer was absolutely dealing after the trade from the Mets, was the best American League pitcher at that time before his injury. Even with that horrible outing against Houston, his numbers were still tops in the American League since the trade deadline up until his injury. But again, you never know what to expect from a guy coming back from injury. You look at Nathan Eovaldi, case in point, he hasn't been the same since he actually did have that injury back in the middle of July. They thought it was just a velocity issue, needed some rest, thought, hey, we'll just skip him 1 start. That was what they told us as a fan base. 1 start is all we were expected to miss for Nathan Eovaldi. Then they said, with the trade deadline, we added a couple starters, we don't need to rush him back, we'll go ahead and skip him 1 more start. Just 1 more. So that made 2 skipped starts for Eovaldi. Okay, no worries, we're fine. Then came the news, well, we're just going to shut him down since he's already missed 10 days. We'll just put him on the injured list. He's only going to miss 1 more start because of the length of time required to be on the injured list, but he should only miss that 1 more start. Now, by that time, he'd already missed 3. Then it became a week-to-week thing, and then by the time September rolled around, we're all kind of asking ourselves, what's really going on with Nathan Eovaldi? Is this what happened last year, where he pitched great in the first half and then struggled to really, do anything productive in the second half? But the time off, Bochy told us would probably do him well from a resting his arm standpoint. I suppose he's right from that standpoint, but we have yet to see him be as effective, nearly as effective as he was in the first half, and only in the last 2 starts have we finally seen the velocity tick up for him. Looks like we're back underway here in the 4th inning. Adolis Garcia out there. 1-1 pitch from Eflin. Boom, right on the outside corner, hammered left field. This one, turn and look by Randy Arozarena. That one's a good 20 rows deep, and the Rangers are off to the races. 1-0, first home run in over 4 games for Texas, tying the longest streak of the season. That streak is now over with Texas getting on the board. 109 off the bat, 416 feet to left. Absolutely demolished that pitch, and Texas takes the early 1-0 lead. Let's hear you, Rangers fans. Tap that heart button in the chat. Rangers looking to advance for the first time since 2015 in the postseason, and they have the lead. Rays backs are against the wall and find themselves trailing in an elimination game here in the 4th inning. Great at bat there by Adolis Garcia, just taking that pitch exactly where it was thrown. You don't see him selling out for a swing, max effort swing right now, and he's absolutely launching the ball even with that more considered, more exacting approach from Garcia. Just great at bat there. Nathaniel Lowe. Ooh, that's a tough pitch. Falling behind, 0-2. That pitch barely caught the inside corner. Ooh. He's had about 1 million of those go against him so far this year. We saw the Rangers struggle quite a bit with that type of call last year. Cole Calhoun, Nathaniel Lowe, some of the least successful getting calls on the corners from umpires. Nathaniel Lowe once again at the top of that category. So as much as I lament the poor play of Nathaniel Lowe offensively this season compared to what we expected, he's certainly had the odds not stacked in his favor. We'll put it that way. So 2 seasons in a row, he's gotten the majority of the calls that are borderline going against him, more than anybody else in all of baseball. This one lashed foul down the third base side. Appreciate you guys joining us. Thank you for all those hundreds in the chat. Thank you for all the confetti. Appreciate those. The 1-2 pitch here from Eflin. Swing and a miss. Nice pitch there at the top of the zone. Lowe unable to make contact for the first out here in the 4th. And it'll be up to Jonah Heim next for the Rangers. 1-0 on the strength of that home run by Adolis Garcia. First home run in the last 4+ games for Texas. They needed that one. The Rangers were second in the American League with home runs this year. First was the Minnesota Twins. They finished with, I believe, 231 home runs on the season. First pitch here lined back to the screen. 0-1. Thank you for those. Appreciate it. Eflin looking to kind of settle down after allowing that home run. Hard hit by Heim right at Yandy Diaz. Didn't have to make a dive this time, but able to record the out. Rangers seem to be locked in, at least the middle of this order is, as far as the way they're hitting the ball so far. Josh Young, who hit it on the screws the last time he was up, is due after Leote here. Leote had a base hit as well so far today. This one off the end of the bat and into center. Even with the infield shifted over, that one gets through. It'll be 2 outs with a runner on first base now. Appreciate those in the chat. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you. Keep it coming. It's been a long time, if you're a Rangers fan, since you've seen the team win in the postseason. First time since 2015 that they could win a postseason series. Rays have lost their last 6 postseason games. Been bounced early in the first round each of the last 2 years. This one, not sure if it was a foul ball or if it just clanked off of the catcher's gear. Looks like that one's going to go as a ball. 1-0. That one bounces in the dirt there. Another sinker. 2-0. Trying to get Josh Young to chase. As we've seen, the strategy lately against Josh Young is just to force him to chase. As a rookie, that's something you could probably expect most teams are going to try to do. Go outside the zone, not give him a fastball. Go off speed, off speed, off speed. We saw when they went in the zone earlier with Zach Eflin on the inner half of the plate about belt high. He was able to drive that one. Rays are going to have to try to do something similar here. Last thing you want to do if you're the Rays is put up a crooked, or let the Rangers put up a crooked number against you. Nice cutter there right at the knees. Young taking all the way, 2-1. Rangers GM, Chris Young, looking on. Young finished the year hitting .266 with 23 home runs. Fastball there up, fouled off, and it's now 2-2. Young just a little bit off of that one. Appreciate that. Thank you for all thank you for all those in the chat. Appreciate those. This one finishes beneath the zone, but Leote is able to swipe second, runner in scoring position now as the ball got away from Pinto on the transfer from the glove to the hand. Leote back-to-back games with a stolen base. Now Rangers have really used that to their advantage. They did that early yesterday. Leote had a stolen base. Evan Carter had a stolen base. Pinto kind of snow-coned that one at the edge of his glove, not into the mitt, and that's why the ball literally just fell out whenever he tried to transfer it. 3-2 here to Josh. The pitch. Hit high. Will it be able to get down in front of the right fielder? A dive. Low misses it, and the ball rolls away into foul territory. Leote scores 2-0. Josh Young motors around second, going into third, and he is safe at third base. The ball got loose from Paredes. I think they would have had him at third base, but Young is able to get all the way around. Just a poor decision to go for the dive there. I think Leote probably scores anyway if that ball gets down. Because it was 2 outs, he would have been off with contact anyway. Josh Young, though, I don't think gets to third base. In fact, I think he's probably still standing there at first base. If Josh Lowe just stays upright, it would have been a close play at the plate if he had decided to stay upright and make a throw home on Leote. But as it stands right now, 2-0 Texas with Evan Carter, who's been absolutely ginormous for Texas in this series. Crushes this one. Deep right field. Texas 4-0. And they're off to the races. First postseason home run for Evan Carter. And the Rangers lead 4-0. And it's all Rangers now. Just things unraveling quickly. 4 runs in the inning for Texas. Wow. My, has this game changed in the last 5 minutes. Let's hear you, Rangers fans. Hit that heart in the chat. Rays, you got to be seeing stars right now. I mean, Evan Carter is the guy right now. He is him. He's the man. Whatever you want to call it, he is absolutely everything the Rangers could have hoped for since they called him up. How are they still keeping him in the 9-hole? Come on now. 4-0 Texas. Swing and a miss there by Semien. Ugh, he does not look good in this at-bat either. They got to get him figured out at the top here. 0-2. Eflin looking to put him away and end this inning. Mercifully for them. Another curveball swung on and missed by Semien. He's absolutely looks out of sorts as offensively right now. I don't know what's going on with Semien, but my goodness, Evan Carter, welcome to Major League Baseball. Adolis Garcia gets things started with a home run out to left. Hammered that one over his friend Randy Rosarena. All he could do is turn and look as it goes over his head. Kind of a chip shot by Josh Lowe. Scores a runner from second, and he gets to third on the play by the dive missed by Josh Lowe. And then the 2-run home run by Evan Carter to bust this thing open. Rangers looking to advance. They lead it 4-0 going to the bottom of the 4th, and it's all Texas right now. Man, you got to think the Rangers are going to be able to get Marcus Semien back on track. Once they do, I mean, this lineup, you got to think this lineup's going to eventually start to produce with runners in scoring position. You saw the base hit by Josh Young. That works in their favor. You saw the one there by Evan Carter. Things are looking good for Texas here in Tampa. Welcome back, Mark. Yeah, Evan Carter. I mean, I don't think anybody thought he would be this good when they called him up. I thought the Rangers would get a nice mark. I thought he might be able to get a home run, might be able to steal a base, play solid defense out there, and then they'd send him back down when Adolis Garcia got back up. Evan Carter is ready for the show right now. That's 6 home runs since he's been called up, 5 in the regular season. That's his first postseason home run. Had 2 extra base hits yesterday, had a couple of walks yesterday, a walk as well today. Very patient hitter, and just absolutely looks the part of a starting star-level player in left field in his rookie season. And by the way, he's still going to be qualified as a rookie next year. It'll be fascinating to see how he performs along with Wyatt Langford for the Rangers next year and see who ends up winning that American League Rookie of the Year. The Rangers had a good candidate this year in Josh Young. The injury, of course, derailed his candidacy as far as I'm concerned on the national level. He still would be my pick to be the American League Rookie of the Year. But Gunnar Henderson had a great year for Baltimore as well. But just the defense Josh Young provides, the offense that he was able to provide, and I think he played enough games to be up there for the American League Rookie of the Year. But next year, the Rangers are going to have 2 high-quality candidates in Evan Carter and Wyatt Langford. Here in the bottom of the 4th, Eovaldi comes back out. He's already got 5 strikeouts so far, 47 pitches, as throws one right down the middle here to Randy as he takes all the way, 0-1. Rays going to have to get something going. Their offense has not scored in over 29 innings now. Make it 30 innings. Arozarena gets back into the right column there, gets a base hit there to center. Saw a couple of those yesterday from him. Rays looking to do something offensively here after that impressive showing by the Rangers in the top half of the 4th. 4 runs, 7 hits, no errors for Texas. No runs, 3 hits, no errors for Tampa so far. Ramirez due up next. Fastball there right at the knees, outer half of the plate, 0-1. We said that this game would probably be decided on whether or not, if the Rays were able to lay off pitches outside of the zone. Same thing for the Rangers. If they're able to lay off pitches, Rangers do that better than anybody. Rays do that worse than anybody. The 0-1 splitter down and in. Nice job laying off there by Ramirez. Hitting to that double play to end things back in the 1st inning. I'm sure the Rangers would love to see a repeat of that. Eovaldi's crossed that 50-pitch plateau. Most pitches he's thrown since he returned from injury is 86. He's gotten into the 80s 3 times so far. Good fastball there. Cutter, I guess they're calling it, on the outside corner. Gets the call, and it's 1-2. They go with the fastball way outside this time. Not competitive enough to entice a swing. 2-2. Thought they'd just go back with that cutter, but instead they go with the hard fastball away, and he just kind of yanked it. Looking for his 6th strikeout of the game. Good splitter there, fouled off by Ramirez. Nice job spoiling that one. Would have been a ball, but either way, he hangs tough. Eovaldi looks like he's got that splitter working pretty well. Been inconsistent with the curveball as of yet. Cutters looked good. Fastball looks strong. The 2-2 here from Eovaldi, the former Tampa Bay Ray. Nice curveball low and away. Swing and a miss by Ramirez, and he goes down swinging. 0 for 2 on the day. That's Eovaldi's 6th strikeout. Rangers looking for a shutdown inning here after that crooked number they put up in the top half of the 4th. It was 1-0 when you left. We saw a cue shot off the end of the bat for Josh Young. It landed. Josh Lowe dove for it and missed it. Leote scored from second after he stole second base. Lowe lines this one out to right for the second out here in the 4th. And then we saw a 2-run home run from Evan Carter. That's what you missed, Dreadnought. Evan Carter just doing absolute monstrous things 2 home runs in the inning for the Rangers, and here the Rays are down to their final out here in the 4th, trying to do something to counter what the Rangers did in the top half. Good splitter there, fouled off by Paredes. And with Eovaldi looking like he's back to being the old Nathan Eovaldi, it's hard to say that the Rangers don't have a more scary rotation than anybody else in the sport right now, especially when you consider that they're about to get Max Scherzer back from what it looks like at least late in the division series. If they win here today, they'll get more rest for guys like Montgomery, so that they'll be fresh to go at the beginning of next series. Dane Dunning, the Rangers' best pitcher all season, looked very good. 0-1 here to Paredes. Grounded foul again. It's 0-2. Eovaldi looking for his 7th strikeout of the day. And with the way the Rays are expanding their zone, tough to see them getting out of this. Thought this might be what it comes down to. The Rays expanding the zone and Eovaldi having a field day with it. And another fastball just off the outside corner, foul tipped into the mitt of Jonah Heim. That's the 7th strikeout for Nate Eovaldi today through 4 innings. Wow. 4 runs, 7 hits, no errors for Texas. No runs, 3 hits, no errors for Tampa Bay as we go to the 5th inning. It'll be Seager, Grossman, and Garcia for the Rangers. Curious to see if Eflin comes back out. Last time they had decided to intentionally walk Corey Seager. We'll see if they do that again, even leading off an inning. They did so with a runner on third base last time in the hopes of preventing a run from scoring, and they did so successfully. Curious to see if the Rangers pinch hit for Grossman here as well, who's played a decent series from what the objective they've had as far as working the count, etc., but he hasn't been effective. Doesn't have a hit in the first 2 games of this series, obviously, but does have that 1 walk. Struck out a couple of times as well, but maybe they go with Carter, or with Garver anyway, off the bench. They are carrying 3 catchers, so it wouldn't cost them from a defensive standpoint if they pinch ran for one of the 2 catchers later in the game. Jankowski is on the bench for them as well, who could come in a late inning situation and pinch run for either Heim or Garver if they need it. But got to be the player of the series right now is Evan Carter. 2 for 2 yesterday, a couple of doubles and a walk. 1 for 1 today with a home run and a walk as well. A couple of RBIs in this one. Had an RBI yesterday. Stolen base yesterday as well. Rangers are just taking advantage of the Rays right now. It seems like they're lacking confidence, especially offensively. 31 innings now in a row that the Rays have not scored in the postseason. Garcia had some words for that Tampa Bay bench when they threw that curveball. Said, "What, you think you can beat me there?" As he flipped his bat and everything. First pitch here to Corey Seager. Hard hit, second base, and that's going to be an error. Yeah, not good. More defensive issues for Tampa Bay. They had Margoa get turned around and it not go as an error back in the first inning. Now you get an actual error off the glove there of Meade, the second baseman. Should have been an easy out, but instead 1 on, nobody out. Grossman does indeed stay in there. Eflin is back out there here. Ball 1 here to Grossman. Pitch that wasn't even close, off the outside corner. 1-0. Eflin through 4 innings has given up 4 earned runs, 3 strikeouts. Grossman looking for his first hit of the series. The set and the pitch. Hard hit up the middle, and this one's going to roll through into center field. Seager is able to run on to third as that one was hit slowly enough to be able to get him there easily. Runners will be on the corners. Nobody away, and curious to see what the Rays are going to do here. If they're going to go ahead and go to their bullpen, or if they're going to just visit with him here. It's going to be a mound visit either way. Adolis Garcia due up next. Had that home run the last half inning to get things started for Texas. Would not be surprised to see a pitching change. Looks like Pinto is the only one going out there, and they do have a lefty loosening out there. Looks like it's Colin Poche, number 38 for the Rays, loosening. Sure, you let Eflin here face Garcia, and then you probably bring him on to face Lowe. First pitch here to Adolis. Hard hit right at the third baseman. Nice catch by Paredes. That ball was scorched off the bat. Unable to turn a double play, though, on that one as the runners were close to the bags already. Adolis just missed another double down the line. Paredes able to make a nice stab at it. Good defensive play. Great swing there off the bat of Garcia. You can just see it. Didn't even get a step out how hard that ball was hit. And they leave Eflin in there, even though he's gotten stung a little bit here. 0-1 here to Lowe as he takes all the way at the bottom of the zone. 0 for 2 so far. 1 for 7 in the series with a couple of strikeouts. Tough call there for Eflin. Sweeper doesn't get the call. It's now 1-1. Probably be at a strike there with the robo umps. That was a great, well-located pitch. Just unable to get the call on it. 1-1. Rangers looking to continue their strong start. Little tapper up the middle, over the head of the pitcher. Fields and throws onto first. They will get the out at first base in Lowe. But Seager will score. It's now 5-0 Texas as Grossman moves to second on the play. Kind of a Baltimore chop, if you will, over the head of the pitcher, able to corral it on the backside of the mound. Didn't have a play at second to get Grossman, but able to get Nathaniel Lowe. Good job to at least get the sure out at first base. 5-0 Texas now. Jonah Heim, who's hit the ball hard twice, had a base hit in his first at-bat, a line shot corralled by Yandy Diaz in his last at-bat. Curveball there on the outside part of the plate. Strike one there to Jonah. They go with a sinker in, and he misses 1-1. Welcome back, Charles. Well, I'm not sure, this is entirely Kevin Cash's fault. You look at what he has to work with. He's got multiple guys in the lineup right now that have played less than 30 games in the big leagues, and they're not nearly the level of talent of an Evan Carter. But this team has certainly had a good run with this way of playing, but they haven't performed offensively in the postseason the last 3 years. Fly out there by Jonah Heim ends the inning, but Texas leads at 5-0 after 4.5. We go to the bottom of the fifth. 5 runs, 8 hits, no errors for Texas. No runs, 3 hits, 1 error for Tampa Bay. And this way the series have gone, they've not really played great Tampa Bay baseball either. Whether that's the injury issues that they have with Wander Franco not being available, Brandon Lau out of the lineup, whatever the case may be, Shane McClanahan missing the year, he would have been their game 1 starter. This would have been a spot for Tyler Glasnow. Things just aren't going Tampa Bay's way right now. Now, as far as the conversation of whether or not they should fire the manager, I think there's some serious questions that need to be answered by the front office of the Tampa Bay Rays, first and foremost, about what their direction is going to be offensively. What are they going to do? Are they going to continue to try to build from within and keep going with what's been working to get them into the postseason and have some success getting to the postseason? But also what's been keeping them from having successful postseason runs by keeping some of their upper-level talent or investing in the team. You saw that we mentioned off the top, their biggest free agent contract to an outside player is Zach Eflin, 3 years, $40 million. They tried going after Freddie Freeman, 6 years, $150. That was a surprise to see him in there at that price. But things are going to have to change as far as I'm concerned with that front office, the strategy that they've been developing and having very good success with. It's time for them to evolve. We saw this with Moneyball with Oakland. It worked for a considerable period of time. Then, for some reason, they let the secrets out made a movie about it, and now every team was trying to do the same types of things, and the secret sauce was gone. Oakland was no longer the formidable opponent that they were. Tampa Bay, they've had a number of executives pilfered from their team for years. Surprised it hasn't happened as of yet, as far as them falling back a little bit, but now seems to be the time where they're starting to have some of those struggles that we see in every organization. They have a build up to their success. They have a long period of success. Their team loses a number of key pieces from their front office, coaching staff, on the field players, and then you start to see that window close. I think we're on the downside of that for the Tampa Bay Rays. As for Kevin Cash, whether or not he should be fired, depends on what happens with that front office. If they say, hey, we're going to clean our hands of this, Kevin Cash isn't the right guy for us, and they blame it all on him and try to keep going with this core, then I think Kevin Cash is gone. If they decide that they're going to try to change the way they do things in the front office, I think they try to keep Kevin Cash around for one more season. Looks like we're back here for the bottom of the fifth. 0-1 count here on Margot. The 0-1 lined into center, cutter, and that one's corralled by Tavares for the first out here in the fifth. Eovaldi up to 60 pitches through 4 1/3, 7 strikeouts so far. Only thrown 19 balls. He's done well. Blue Jays manager needs to be fired. I don't know about that. I mean, you look at the way that the Blue Jays have gone, I think that he should be fired not because they lose to the Twins, but because their lack of success over the last couple years based on their expectations. They're expected to be, world beaters, expected to win the AL East, expected to make the World Series. Last year and this year, fail both times. Their starting rotation has struggled. Looks like that one hits Meade. And he gets on here, 1 on, 1 out now. But as far as losing the Twins have played great baseball in the second half of the season. Everybody thought they were going to be a doormat coming into the postseason. I'm not sure about that. Heim having some words for the bench. I guess it didn't hit him. They're calling it catcher interference. His bat clicked the top of the glove of Heim. I think Bochy's out there arguing that he stuck the bat out into the glove of Heim. I mean, that swing was so slow. It was literally this. Bochy just having some words for the manager, or for the umpire, just to make sure that they're on the same page. First pitch here to Walls, misses low. Ball 1, splitter low. Rays with a runner on. Rays really need to get something going here. Splitter again, this time swung on and missed by Walls. 1-1's the count. Eovaldi's really sharp with that splitter today. Gotten a lot of swing and misses with it. As I said, the most pitches he's gone so far since he's come back from injury is 86. He has not really had any high-stress pitches so far. Looks like he's mostly going with the splitter right now against Walls, trying to see if he can get some chases. This one misses a little bit further in the dirt. 2-1. We'll see how much higher over 86 they go, or if they decide to go to their bullpen a little earlier. They do have a 5-0 lead here in the bottom of the fifth. Texas out to the big lead. Player of the game still has to be Evan Carter even now. He's been money for them. Player of the series has to be Evan Carter for Texas. 2-1 pitch. Grounder short or to second. Simeon flips to Seager on to first. And another double play. Rays just cannot get anything going, and Eovaldi looks absolutely sharp right now. Forgot that they're going to have to do the check for the sticky stuff as well. But it's been a while since he's pitched this deep into a game. I think this is actually the first time he's gotten through 5 innings. In fact, let's kind of check on that. Since he's come back, September 5th was his first start. Nope, he's gone 5 innings twice. So this is only the 3rd time since he's returned that he's gone 5 innings. Obviously looking like he'll go deeper than that so far today. But as things stand, as we go to the 6th inning, it's 5-0 Texas. Rays going with a pitching change. Colin Poche is coming on for Zach Eflin. It'll be Tavares, Young, and Carter. Carter with a 2-run home run earlier today, as well as a a walk, had a couple of RBIs so far today. He's been money. Josh Young has had a nice rebound performance from yesterday's game. Had a ball in his first at bat, he absolutely crushed for a base hit. And then in his second at bat, kind of a cue shot off the end of the bat, unable to be corralled in there by Josh Lowe on a dive that he just missed. The ball got away and allowed Tavares to score. Young was able to get to third on the plate, and that's when we saw the 2-run home run by Carter. Adolis Garcia adding a home run. Seegers had a double today and an intentional walk. Has scored a run today as well. But the offense looking good for Texas today. Rays, they need a win today, otherwise their season is over. Everybody picked against the Rangers on the national broadcast yesterday. With Glasnow on the mound, they counted against the Rangers again today with Eflin on the mound. We'll see if the Rangers get their respect from the national media after the game, should they put away the Rays. And yes, I'm looking at you, ESPN, MLB Network. All your analysts pretty much categorically picked the Tampa Bay Rays. I think Alana Rizzo was the only one to pick the Rangers in this one. On the High Heat show for MLB Network. Tavares coming up. 1 for 2 on the day. Scored a run, has a stolen base today. Back-to-back playoff games for Tavares with a couple of stolen bases. He's played Tampa Bay well this year as well. Had a home run earlier this season against them. A couple of them, actually. Back when the Rangers lineup was struggling against the Rays at that point. One of the few times they struggled early in the season. First pitch chases that one up and up and in, excuse me. Turned around and batting from the right side here with the lefty on the mound. Swing and a miss. Another chase here by Tavares. 0-2. Goes ahead and takes his time after chasing the first two. Now that they've gotten the pitcher or the starter out of there, I'm sure the Rangers will deploy their usual attack once they get to the bullpen, jumping on pitches in the strike zone. Tapped foul. Remains 0-2. It'll be Tavares, Young, Carter. Semien, who's had a terrible day once again today, struggled yesterday as well. 0 for 4 with a walk. 0 for 3 so far today with a strikeout. He is the cleanup hitter this inning. Tapped foul, third base side again. Nice work by Tavares after going down 0-2 to stay alive. Rays, though, are going to have to get some good quality at bats. They have to score a run. There are 32 consecutive scoreless innings in the postseason now. The 0-2 here. That looked like strike 3 right at the top of the zone, but does not get the call for some reason. Every now and again we've gotten kind of a mystifying call. That is one of them. 1-2. See if we get a makeup call here. That one is right in there, though, for strike 3. Tavares taking that one. Looked like he was a little mixed up, trying to see if he was trying to get him to chase again. Either way, 1 away in the top of the 6th. 5 runs, 8 hits, 1 error for Texas. I think that error was the one on Jonah Heim after the bat of called it a ground rule double, even though it should not have been, because Rosarania was able to get the ball. Even if the ball gets stuck in the wall, if you can get it out, it still counts. Now, if you can't get it out, that's another question. First pitch here to Carter, misses low. 1-0. Very patient at bat. Very patient hitter. 3 walks so far in the series. Another one bounces in there. 2-0. Had that 2-run home run in his last at bat. Breaking this game open for Texas. Last thing you need if you're a Rays pitcher right now is to give him another pitch to drive. The 2-0, they go with a high fastball, 94 at the top of the zone, left on left here. Carter taking all the way. 2-1. This one just beneath the zone, but swung on and missed by Carter. Good pitch by Poche there, getting the slider to entice the swing. One of the few times we've seen him chase a pitch outside of the zone. 2-2. Hanging slider here, fouled off by Carter. Surprised it didn't drive that one, but that was a mistake. Pache is very thankful didn't end up in the seats. 2-2. Rays looking to retire Carter for the first time in this series. The set and the pitch. Swing and a miss. Another great slider this time from Pache. Keeps this one down in the zone for his second strikeout. And that's the first time the Rays have been able to retire Evan Carter. You knew he wasn't going to go for 1,000 here in the postseason, but puts up a good at-bat again against a tough lefty. And Marcus Semien due up. We'll see if he's able to break off the schneid here with a runner in scoring position out there at second base. Fastball misses low. During the season, had 29 home runs, broke the 100 RBI threshold in the final couple games of the season. The 1-0. Check swing. I'm guessing they're calling it a foul ball as it dribbles all the way back to the screen. That pitch looked inside, but unable to lay off, and it's 1-1. Orioles await the winner of this series. First time they've been in the postseason in years as well. Great pitch by Pache, down and in. They're calling it a fastball. That looked more like a slider. It had some movement going in on it. I think Semien thought that was going to travel a little further in. But just absolutely perfect placement by Pache. The 1-2. Slider misses low. 2-2. Pache takes a little bit of a walk after that one. Back on top. Sets. And the 2-2. Fastball at the top of the zone. Foul just outside of third base. And we'll do it again. Bruce Bochy looking on. World Series champion 3 times over. 2010, 2012, 2014. One of the teams he defeated in those championship runs was the Texas Rangers. 2-2 once again. Hit hard this time. Foul. Looks like Semien's gaining a little bit more confidence in this at-bat. His swings are looking a little bit better. Just was a little early on that one. 2-2 remains. Good battle here by Semien. This will be the 7th pitch of the at-bat. And another high slider. Hanging slider. Fouled back to the screen. Semien unhappy with himself that he missed that one. When you're struggling, you don't seem to hit those balls the way you were early in the year. Remains 2-2. Chris Young looking on. Semien looking to drive in a run for the first time this postseason. The set by Pache and the pitch. Hit hard over the shortstop's head. This one's going to get down and roll all the way to the wall. That'll get it done. It's going to be 6-0 Texas. Josh Young scores on the RBI double from Marcus Semien, his first hit this postseason, and maybe that will let him breathe a deep sigh of relief. We'll see if they intentionally walk Corey Seager here once again, but the deficit is already 6-0 Texas in front of the Rays. Hard to see the Rays overcoming this already. Looks like they're going to go ahead and pitch to Seager. Fastball misses 1-0. Left on left, I guess they figure they have a chance. Check swing by Seager on that one. Unable to entice the swing entirely, and it's 1-0. Another fastball here finds the zone. 93-mile-an-hour fastball. 1-1. Gets the call on that high fastball. 1-1. Pache up to 23 pitches so far this inning. Rangers have scored in each of the last 3 innings now. Rays fans look absolutely dismal out there. The 1-1 pitch, crushed right field. This one's going to get down, one hop the wall, and that's going to be another double. The throw comes into second. We'll see if Seager gets in there. And just in front of the throw, another double in this series for Corey Seager. Robbie Grossman due next. Ouch. 7-0 Texas. 4 runs in the fourth, a run in the fifth, 2 more here in the sixth. And it's all Texas. Rays fans shaking their head. You can hear the boos even though the sound is off. Even I can hear him with the sound off at this point. And it's all Texas right now. Robbie Grossman flipped around to the right side with the lefty on the mound. Wow. A high strike call there. Yuck. That one looked like it was a good inch or two high. Fastball there right at the knees. Now quickly 0-2 here to Grossman. Had a base hit his last at bat. Slider misses down and in. 1-2. Tried to bury that one in his back foot. Did successfully, but unable to entice the swing. Wow. Just finally the offense has started to wake up for Texas. Runners in scoring position. They're finally driving those in. The home runs have returned. Another high-quality start from a Rangers starter in this one. Rays just looking to end this inning mercifully. This one's popped up. Poche jams him. Diaz going out and makes a basket catch over the shoulder. Beautiful job by Yandy Diaz. And where would this game even be without Yandy Diaz's defense at first base? We're talking probably about a 10-0 game at this point without his defense. Nice work there. And the Rangers are retired. 7 runs, 11 hits, 1 error for Texas. No runs, 3 hits, 1 error for Tampa Bay as we go to the bottom of the 6th. Nathan Eovaldi coming out for his first time getting into the 6th inning. We'll see how far he goes today. But what a great day for Texas. They look like they're well on their way to winning their first series since 2015. Welcome back, Eric. Hope you had a good nap there. Or wherever you work or whatever you might have been doing. Man, I just need to keep going back to work each time I do. I come back and more runs. Well, I mean, I got the day off. I requested this day off, not expecting the Rangers to be in the postseason race. I thought I'd just take some time off, but instead, here I am doing some YouTube because postseason's underway. Favorite teams in it. Might as well, if I'm going to watch the game, do the live. And things are going well if you're a Rangers fan. Sorry, Rays fans, it's just not looking like your day. And it's going to be an interesting off season for the Rays. We'll see how quickly things change for them. If they do make some front office changes, if they do make some changes with that coaching staff. But once again, the offense just does not show up for the Rays. That's 32 straight innings now that they have not scored a run. Just, they're not built for the postseason, it looks like. They're built for the 162, don't get me wrong. But they have a lot of guys out right now due to injury as well, or suspension, or league's indefinite list. But, yeah. Things not looking good for Tampa. Let us know if you're a Ranger fan, if things are going your way by hitting that heart. If you're a Rays fan, hit that 100 if you're hoping here for a rally in the 6th. It'll be Pinto, Diaz, and Rosarena. Curious to see if we get a pinch hitter here for Pinto. The Kraken you were talking about yesterday was awakened. Yes, it was. They're finally getting hits with runners in scoring position. They're finally getting home runs again. The offense looks like the offense we've come to expect to see from the Rangers this season. And as far as the pitching staff, great start by Montgomery in Game 1. Good job out of the bullpen by Chapman and Leclerc. And then here Eovaldi gets back to being the Nathan Eovaldi we expected to see. Looks like Pinto is indeed going to hit here. A little bit surprised they're not going to the bench. Fouls the first one off. 0-1. Swing and a miss on that cutter. 0-2. It tells you they're not very good offensively every single inning. When on ABC, national television, they pop up every single innings. No runs in 28 innings. No runs in 29 innings. No runs in 30. No runs in 31. No runs in 32. They're going on 33 at this point. Time here by Pinto. Curveball here right on the inside corner. Fouled off by Pinto. Great job by Pinto getting a hold of that one, fouling it down the third base side into the dugout. That was great pitch location there by Eovaldi. That's the one pitch he really hadn't had great command with, is that curveball. Looking for his strikeout here. The 0-2. That's another curveball well located on the outside corner, and that's the one pitch that he hadn't been locating so far. And here against Pinto, he locates one on the inside and one on the outside corner. Beautiful job by Eovaldi. His 8th strikeout of the day, and now he is officially beyond where he's gotten so far since his return from injury at 5 1/3. Yandy Diaz due up next. 1 for 2 on the day. First pitch here just misses off the inside corner, 1-0. Diaz hit .330 in the regular season, took home the AL batting title. Corey Seager had basically been leading that the entire season, but lost it on the final day. Popped up here, fastball right down Broadway, or I should say a cutter, right down Broadway, lifted directly into center. Tavares in and to the right about 2 or 3 steps. Makes the catch. 2 away. Randy Arozarena will be next. 1 for 2 on the day. Had a couple of base hits yesterday, hitting .500 so far in the series. Also has struck out against Eovaldi so far. Curveball, again, great placement there. Gets the call on the outside corner. Probably was a hair off, but able to get the call. 0-1. Tough call there for Randy, though. One of the few pieces in this lineup that's actually producing. Splitter there, laid off by Randy. 1-1. As that one bounced in front of the plate. Hit .254 during the season, 23 home runs. But has a great penchant for the big moment. We'll see if the Rays superstar can come through here. Cut fastball at the top of the zone, 1-2 now. Rays down to their final strike here in the bottom of the 6th. Eovaldi looking for his 9th strikeout of the day. This one misses low and away, not a close pitch at all. 75 pitches so far through 5 2/3. Probably see him come back out for the 7th as well, if I had to guess. We'll probably see some combination of the upper end of the relief options for Texas. Probably a Will Smith comes out of the bullpen at some point. I doubt we see Aroldis Chapman. But Will Smith, I think, is a bet to come in at some point. The 2-2. Tapped out to third. One hopper to Young. Flips on to first. Nice throw on to first. And gets Randy Arozarena. We'll see if the Rays want to challenge it. But they really have got nothing going. And it's 7-0 after 6. It's all Texas. 7 runs, 11 hits, 1 error for Texas. No runs, 3 hits, 1 error for Tampa as we go to the 7th. It'll be Garcia, Lowe, and Heim for Texas. I'm sure the Rangers are not going to call off the Dogs until they have this one done. But a great start here for Texas, looking to sweep the Rays in Tampa in this wild card series. Everybody perceived the Rays as the toughest out among these wild card teams. And here they are on the brink of elimination. Looks like Sean Armstrong is going to get the call out of the bullpen, the righty for the Rays. He'll face Garcia, the righty, a lefty in Lowe, and a lefty in Heim. Listen, man, I'm a diehard Cowboys fan. Been here, been one since I was able or old enough to know what was going on. I've come to learn over disappointment of years. When it's not your time, it's not your time. Tampa Bay is A1. Well, I don't think it's Tampa Bay's time either. But I think they've had a great run. I do think that they've let this strategy dictate how they build their team a little bit too long. They haven't adapted as well as, say, other teams have. They've started to try to adapt. That we saw this offseason with Zach Eflin. They tried to go out there a couple years ago for Freddie Freeman, but they haven't kept their stars. They continue to try to trade them away. And that strategy worked for a significant period of time. Kept the payroll down. They were always churning new talent. But right now you're seeing the lack of production in that offense is really glaring right now. The lack of having depth in that starting rotation, as good as it was all year, you could have had some of the other starters that are around Major League Baseball that are former Tampa Bay Rays that you traded away to keep your payroll thin, to keep it light, or to keep your prospect pool high, and it just seems to have worked for a time, but it's starting to show the cracks in that strategy. And at a certain point, every team is going to have their window where they're building, contention, and then their decline phase, and then they go again through their rebuild. But that just seems to be how things go, and right now it seems like the Rays are on their decline part of their cycle. Looks like we're about set here in the top of the 7th. Twins and Blue Jays are underway as well. We'll keep you guys updated on that one. With the win, the Twins would move on. They would face Houston. If the Rangers are able to hold on to victory here today against the Rays, they will face Baltimore. That series, I believe, would start on Saturday. First pitch here, 95 on the outside corner, belt high, strike one. Looks like they're continuing to try to push that outside corner to Adolis. The last 2 times, though, crushed a home run on a curveball in the outside corner and then laced one right down the line, caught by Paredes, but absolutely hammered by Garcia. Fastball there misses low, and it's 1-1. That's exactly what I meant. It's not Tampa Bay's time right now. That doesn't mean clean house. When your time is right, doesn't matter what happens, they're going to try to win it. Patience is key. Well, they've tried patience. They've tried to continue to do that patient thing, but they haven't changed their strategy at all. And I did the analogy with the Oakland A's earlier about their money ball. The strategy got out. Everybody, understood what they were doing, the formula to their success, and they didn't evolve, and that's where we see Oakland right now. Now we see the same thing with Tampa Bay, where we might have seen this a little bit earlier, I would have thought, as Garcia chases strike 3 for the first out here in the 7th. I thought we would have seen, the decline of them a little bit earlier because of all the different executives that have been pilfered from that organization. But they've stuck hard and fast to their principles as far as what they want to do. Swing and a miss at that high fastball at the letters. 0-1 to low. But I thought we would have seen their decline a little bit earlier. And for the past 3 seasons now, they get to the postseason and have no offense to show for it and can't get out of the first round. So we'll see if they're able to recalibrate this offseason, see if they change things up, do something different. But as it stands right now, things are not looking good for Tampa. It's now 0-2 here on low. Top of the 7th, Texas leading 7-0. They took game 1, 4-0. This one's fouled off down third base side, and we'll do it again. Looks like Toronto's threatening in the top of the 1st against Sonny Gray. Couple on with 2 outs. Toronto has to win to stave off elimination, much like the Rays had to win today. First split screen we see of the 2 Lowe brothers from the ABC broadcast. High fastball just off the outside corner. 1-2 now. Wonder what the over-under was on the split screens we would see between the 2 brothers. The 1-2 again. Off the inside part of the plate, dribbled foul. Down the first base side. Remains 1-2. Low hanging tough here. 0 for 3 today so far. Does have a RBI on that chopper over the mound that Zach Eflin was able to corral and get the force out at least at first base. Looking for his first hit of the game. The set and the pitch by Armstrong. Hit hard over the head of short into center. Or left center, I should say. Fielded by Rosarena and flipped back in. Be 1 on with 1 out. As far as not changing their process, I'm not sure that was the problem with the Cowboys. I think the problem with the Cowboys, honestly, is that they get in their head too much. Sure, all the bright lights are on Dallas all the time, and that's part of their own doing. Jerry Jones bringing the bright light, but it's all the bravado, all the we're going to win the Super Bowl every year. It's part of the fans. It's hard to say the drunken fan, etc. But that's kind of how Cowboys fans act sometimes. Is that they win one game against a lowly team by a score of 40-0, and next thing next thing you know, they're talking about Super Bowl. A team, another team does that, and they're not talking about Super Bowl. They're talking about how good their team is, how well they performed, and if they have a chance for a playoff run. Cowboys, they talk about Super Bowls, and I think that immediately puts immense pressure on their team, and their players falter under that pressure. Haven't been able to live up to it. Now, they've had certain parts of the team play really well at certain points. Tony Romo, I thought, was a great quarterback, but they at certain times didn't have the pieces around him. They didn't have the offensive line. They wouldn't have the defense to go with it. Then they had fixed the defense. They had fixed the running game. Tony Romo goes down to injury, and now they're stuck with Dak Prescott. So as far as do they correlate between the Cowboys and the Rays, I don't think so. I just think the Rays haven't changed their philosophy as far as how they attack going forward. They haven't changed pretty much anything as far as their formula for success over the last, I would say, the last 10 to 15 years, honestly. And I think that's worked really well for them for an extended period of time. Their formula worked really well as far as how they went about it. It was a very good formula, but they didn't alter it when they should have. Hard hit ball, deep center field. Looks like it will be playable for Margot as he crosses onto the warning track, makes the catch for the second out of the inning. Lowe goes back to first base. Josh Young due up next. He's 3 for 3 today. Hit the ball hard all 3 times. Once in his first at-bat, line shot for a single. A cue shot off the end of the bat that fell and got all the way to third base on the dive that missed by Josh Lowe. And then last time the double out to left. First pitch here to Tavares is next, not Josh Young, my bad. First pitch now back from the left side here. Takes all the way, strike 1. Sinker misses off the corner, 1-1 now as Armstrong's working quickly. 17 pitches so far, has thrown 14 strikes, tells you what the impetus is for the Rays with a 7-run deficit. Throw strikes, get us out of this, get us back up to the bat. Another ball here, 2-1. Leote this series has a couple of stolen bases, 3 for 8 with a couple of strikeouts as well. Scored a couple of runs in this series, has a couple of RBIs as well. Fouls this one off, now 2-2. Rays 1 strike away from getting out of this one. Rays looking to put up the first scoreless inning since the 3rd inning. Rangers added 4 in the 4th, 1 in the 5th, 2 in the 6th as Leote takes time here. 7 runs, 12 hits, 1 error for Texas. Looking to tack on another run here in the 7th. I'm expecting Eovaldi to come back out here in the 7th. I don't see anybody loosening, at least not yet anyway, as this one misses outside. 3-2 now to Leote. Josh Young waiting on deck. 7, 8, and 9 in this series have certainly made a difference, though. Evan Carter, probably the player of the game, player of the series for the Texas Rangers, honestly. Dang, that's just a sparse crowd. They show the guy in the section pretty much all by himself at the top of the section for a playoff game. Flipped out to left by Tavares, and Rosarena is able to get there and make the play for the 3rd out of the inning. We go to the bottom of the 7th. All Texas, 7-0. Looks like the Twins were able to get out of that 2-on, 2-out jam in the 1st, as they are now in the bottom half of the 1st inning with 1 out there. There'll be Ramirez, Lowe, and Paredes for the Rays in the bottom of the 7th against Eovaldi. By far his best start since coming back from injury. And like I said, the Rangers might finally be getting the rotation that they were hoping for back right now. I mean, you look at the start they got from Jordan Montgomery yesterday. He looked absolutely the part of an ace right now. Nathan Eovaldi was their ace going in the first half. After DeGrom went down, he looked like a Cy Young contender and really struggled so far from injury. But today, his location looks back to normal. His velocity looks good and looks like the old Nathan Eovaldi. We'll see how he feels after the start, the up and downs, if he's feeling any tenderness, if he's feeling any soreness, etc. But so far, so good if you're a Rangers fan. As far as his development coming back from injury, very encouraging signs. And then, of course, we talked a little bit about Max Scherzer off the top about how he threw a bullpen session today, his first one in about a week. He said he would not throw another one until he felt like he was ready to go full bore and have that strength back. And today he said he felt like he had his full strength back. He was actually giddy in the dugout after his bullpen session. He feels good, and so we'll see how he responds and how he feels tomorrow. But things are looking up for the Rangers possibly getting Max Scherzer back, even as soon as early as the division series. So if they're able to get that back, you're talking about having Dane Dunning fresh for Game 1, possibly on Friday or Saturday when that division series starts, possibly having Jordan Montgomery Game 2, possibly having Eovaldi Game 3. And then if that series goes to Game 4, then we could see Scherzer in that Game 4 or in the championship series. I think right now things are on track for Scherzer to come back, most likely by the championship series. But Evan Grant of the Dallas Morning Telegraph said that there's every bit the chance that he comes back in the division series. Do not rule him out. Based on how quickly he is healing, he wouldn't rule out Scherzer coming back at that point, at this point. Now, he said it's highly unlikely that he comes back for the division series, and I get that. You got to see how he recovers from this bullpen, see if he's even stretched out, how deep could he even go if he did make a start. But I think the Rangers would really love to have Max Scherzer back based on how well he was pitching before the injury. Only had one bout outing really as a member of the Texas Rangers against the Houston Astros, but that series everybody played terribly for the Texas Rangers at home against Houston in the early parts of September. And but things, basically my point is, things are looking up if you're a fan of the Rangers and their rotation. Swing and a miss, gets the chase there by Ramirez. It's now 1-2 here in the bottom of the 7th. Looking for the 9th strikeout of the day. Goes with the fastball in the inner half of the plate, fouled off. Remains 1-2. Ramirez getting a good swing on that one. Would not be surprised if we see the bullpen actually throwing here for Texas. Remember, 86 is his high since coming back from injury. Curveball misses low. 2-2. Does not get the chase there. Good attempt, though. Ramirez has struck out once so far today. Still looking for his first hit of the series. Splitter there. Catches a little bit more of the plate than I think he wanted. Tapped foul by Ramirez, and we'll do it again. If you're rooting for your Rangers, make sure you tap that heart in the chat. If you're rooting for the Rays, hit that 100. See if the Rays are able to make a game out of this one or not. The 2-2 pitch. Tapped to short. Seager charges it. Makes a strong throw over to first, and Ramirez is the first out here in the bottom of the 7th. Josh Lowe is next. 0 for 2 so far today. One of the few Rays that has not struck out so far. Eovaldi through 6 1/3 has 8 strikeouts, no earned runs, no runs at all, in a shutout through 6 1/3. Rays have been held scoreless now for 33 1/3 consecutive innings in the postseason. This one's tapped through the shifted infield anyway. Probably would have been a ground ball right to Corey Seager if they hadn't been shifted around, but just gets past Josh Young and Corey Seager on that left side. And the Rays have a base runner here in the 7th, only the 4th hit of the game. Paredes is next, 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts. I imagine that base hit will for sure get somebody up in the bullpen either way. Cutter misses here, 1-0. I think this is probably the final inning here for Eovaldi. Looks like he's starting to wear down a little bit. That cutter's not quite as crisp. Curveball, which was very crisp last inning, looks like it's starting to lose a little bit more of his deception on it. Fastball is starting to lose location as that fastball's right down Broadway. Taken all the way, though, by Paredes. Velocity's still strong, though, so that's the good sign if you're Texas. Last thing you want to see is that velocity start to dip as he gets further into this one. 1-1's the count here. I'm sure they'd love a double play as well. I already had a couple so far today. Little tapper to third. Off the glove of Young. That's going to go as an error. That should have been a double play. And what I told you was the best defensive third baseman in the game right now makes an error. Very uncharacteristic. That might have been the first error I've seen in months for Josh Young. It was kind of off the tip of his glove by the looks of it. Or nope, off the heel of his glove. Kind of overran it just a step. It wasn't a tricky hop, just a little bit of a misplay there by Josh Young. 2 on, 1 out, and they do indeed get a call down to the bullpen now. Curveball here finds the zone, 0-1. They're calling it a hit right now, but I'm sure that'll go down as an error. Sborz is up for the Rangers in the bullpen. He also got up in the game 1, but did not come into the game. Margot is the hitter, 1 for 2 in the game. Fastball misses outside, 1-1. This will be pitch number 90 here for Eovaldi. Margot on the year, 264 hitter with 4 home runs. Looks like Sborz is just about ready already if they decide to go with him. The 1-1 pitch, lifted high into the air. Straightaway center, coming in a step or two and over to the left is Tavares. And he makes the catch and flips it back in for the second out of the inning. Meade is next. We'll see if Eovaldi gets the chance to finish the 7th here. I think he will. 2 on, 2 outs. Rays looking to end their long scoreless drought here. Best opportunity they've had at it, really. Meade reached on an error his last time up after he tipped the glove of Jonah Heim with his bat. 96 on the outside corner, fouled off, and it's 0-1. Good velocity there by Eovaldi, looking strong. Told you Eovaldi's one of 3 or 4 pitchers that I've ever seen get stronger as the game goes on. That's something we really haven't seen since he returned from injury. Now we're starting to see that velocity stay the same the entirety of this one. Great splitter there. Swing and a miss. 0-2. Rangers 1 strike away from getting out of this one. Eovaldi looking for his 9th strikeout. Big deep breath there as he collects his thoughts. The set and the pitch. Fouled straight back to the screen. High fastball there. Able to get just enough of it there as Meade. Remains 0-2. Eovaldi goes to the rosin bag one more time. Gets to the top of the rubber. Sets and the pitch. Another good splitter there. Able to foul it off though as Meade. And we'll do it again. Kind of fouled it off his foot anyway. And I need a minute to kind of walk around off of that one. Eovaldi takes his time getting back to the top to give him a minute. The 0-2 once again. Curveball misses low and away. A little too far out to entice a swing. 1-2. Got to think this is the last batter here for Eovaldi, one way or the other. Especially with the pitch count where it is, where he's been at in the past. 6 2/3, 95 pitches right now. This will be 96, 10 more than he's thrown since he's come back. Fouled off again, fastball down Broadway. 1-2. Welcome in, Robert. Well, I don't know about Tampa Bay being a disgrace. I think as far as the fans not showing up to support them in the postseason, that is a little bit of a surprise. Regular season I get, but in the postseason they usually show up, but not this time. Another splitter in the dirt, does not get the chase there for Meade. Evens it up 2-2. But as far as Tampa Bay, I think they've had a great run of success, but it's time for them to reevaluate how they go about building a team. 2 on, 2 out, 2-2 count. Eovaldi sets. And the pitch. Hard hit in between the shortstop and third baseman. This will get at least 1 run home, and finally the scoreless streak will end for Tampa Bay, and that's probably going to do it for Nate Eovaldi. 7-1. 7-1 here in the bottom of the 7th. Bruce Bochy coming out of the dugout now. Looks like we will get Josh Sborz coming on. It's 2 on here. Runners at first and second with 2 outs. Eovaldi goes 6 2/3, 8 strikeouts, 98 pitches with only 1 earned run. Almost was able to get out of trouble here in the 7th, but just couldn't quite get enough on that one. And Rays finally scratch across their first run of this postseason. Ends their scoreless inning streak at 33 2/3. What a start by Nate Eovaldi. Looks like the Nate Eovaldi we saw in the first half. We'll see how he recovers after this one. But good signs for Texas moving forward. Got to be able to close this one out. It's still a 6-run game, and it still is the Texas Rangers bullpen, so the Rays still have a chance. But Josh Sborz coming on for Texas. They need to move that franchise to a different city. That's been a discussion for years and years and years, but I think they're actually moving, I thought there was conversations about them renewing their lease there or building a stadium. But either way, they ain't moving out of that Tampa Bay, St. Petersburg area as much as outside people would think that they would be better served doing so. But it seems like they're going to be in South Florida or in that Florida area for a significant period of time. Could have sworn I saw an article where they either re-up this agreement there to stay at the Trop and renovate the place, or that they were going to build a new stadium in that St. Petersburg, Tampa Bay area. Either way, they're going to stay there for a while. Anyway, we are here in the bottom of the 7th. 7 runs, 12 hits, 1 error for Texas. Rays finally scratch across their first run of the game here in the bottom of the 7th. 1 run, 6 hits, 1 error for Tampa. It'll be Walls followed by Pinto next. I'll be surprised if they do not pinch hit for Pinto. Let us know who you're rooting for. Go ahead and hit that heart if you're rooting for the Rangers. Hit that 100 if you're rooting for the Rays. Looks like they're going to go with Caminero, the pinch hitter right now here for Walls. Realizing this is really their last best chance to get back into this one with a 6-run deficit. Eovaldi did his job today. Pitched very, very well. 6 2/3, 1 earned run, 8 strikeouts. By far his best start in over 2.5 months. Josh Sborz coming on, 5.5 ERA during the regular season, but all of that's highly inflated from about 4 games. So outside of those 4 games, he's been nails for the Rangers. He was a setup guy for a period of time for Bruce Bochy. Had an injury late in the season, only recently called back up, from injury anyway. First pitch here to Caminero is a strike, 0-1. They're going to say time here for Caminero. Sborz takes a walk around the backside of the mound. Struck out in his only at-bat yesterday. Much like the rest of this bullpen, they can be very effective in the strike zone, but they can also be very wild at times. This one here, an example of the wildness there. The slider misses by about 2 feet outside. Another one misses well outside, 2-1. Rays hitters do expand the zone quite consistently. Would like to see those pitches a little bit closer to entice those swings and misses. Those not close enough to even offer a check swing, honestly. 2-1. Fastball misses low, 97 beneath the zone, 3-1. In danger of loading the bases. Pinto is next. Rays crowd into it for the first time pretty much since the 2nd inning. The set by Sborz and the pitch. This one hit high in the air, popped up, left side. Carter is under it and makes the catch, and that'll end things here for the Rays in the 7th. They do scratch their first run across the board in over 33 2/3 innings, but what a start by Nate Eovaldi. The entire bench coming by and giving him a high five, smacking him on the back. What a start for Nate Eovaldi. 7-1 Texas as we go to the 8th. And Texas looks like they're going to be on their way to the division series to face Baltimore as long as they're able to hold on here in the final 2 innings. Sorry, Rays fans. I know it's been a tough several years now for you guys, not advancing later into the postseason. This marks the 3rd straight year they're going to be bounced in their first round of the first round matchup anyway. And their offense again continues to struggle. Injuries, poor performance, lack of available players, players with inexperience on the roster, whatever you want to call it. It seems like the formula for Tampa Bay is finally starting to lose its successfulness. And there's going to have to be some serious conversations after the season as to what they're going to do. But for the Rangers, first time that looks like they're going to win a postseason series since 2015. For the Twins, if they're able to hold on in their game today as well, it'll be the first time they have won a playoff series since 1991. So 2 of my favorite childhood teams might be able to break their schneid, or break their futility streak anyway today. We'll see if they're able to succeed. Zach Little is coming on for Zach Armstrong, who pitched well in the 7th for them. Josh Young, due up first, has a triple and 2 doubles in today's game. Has an RBI as well. But it's the bottom 3 in the lineup for Texas once again, really proving to be the difference. Evan Carter, the player of the series in my mind, had another 2-run home run today anyway, his first of the postseason. Had a walk. He's stolen a base anyway. He stole a base yesterday. Josh Young, after having a struggling yesterday, driving in the first run of the game yesterday on a sac fly, had an offer. Today he's 3 for 3, couple runs scored and an RBI. Tavares 1 for 4 today, hitting .333 on the series with a stolen base yesterday and today as well. Rangers really utilizing their speed and using the bottom of that lineup to showcase the difference between their 2 clubs. Whereas the team for the Rays looks a little weak in the bottom half of their lineup because of all the injuries, missing players in their lineup. The Rangers boast probably the best 7, 8, and 9 hitters in the game right now, and I don't think it's even close. First pitch here, 93-mile-an-hour fastball fouled off. Straight back to the screen. Josh Young looks a lot more confident at the plate today. His best game since coming back from injury. Splitter hanging there in the middle of the plate. Fouled back to the screen. I'm sure Young would love to have that one back, as that pitch just kind of hung and hung and hung there. Little on the year, a 4.1 ERA in 28 games. Had 90 innings pitched, though. That sweeper misses way outside. 1-2. 7-1 our score here in the top of the 8th inning. Young takes time. Another one on the inner half of the plate, fouled off again here by Young. Staying alive. A little bit of a jam shot on that one, though. Remains 1-2. Evan Carter waiting on deck. Was retired for the first time in this series in his last at-bat on that strikeout. Even when he when he does strike out anyway, he still makes the pitcher work for it. That one misses off the plate in. It's now 2-2. But Evan Carter, I'm expecting probably at the top of the lineup for the Rangers next year. I'm expecting Semien to move down in the lineup a little bit. Wyatt Langford probably going to make the big club next year as well. So the Rangers have a good runway here for success. The majority of their roster's locked up for several years right now. Two. The set by Little. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. Nice fastball up and in. Unable to make contact with that one is Young, and he is the first out of the 8th inning. Carter next. We'll see how they decide to go after Evan. First pitch splitter misses there, and it's 1-0. A little up to 8 pitches already. That pitch looked like it was in the strike zone, but doesn't get the benefit of the call there. There's one right down Broadway, 1-1. Carter will work the count. Very patient hitter. Even in the minors, had a higher walk rate than a strikeout rate, and so far that's held true in the majors as well. Has a 9% chase rate, which is minuscule even by major league standards. This one's hammered but foul down the first base line, 1-2. Goes ahead and takes his time out here. Even if he strikes out here, he's still probably going to be my offensive player of the series for the Rangers. Probably my player of the series for the Rangers, honestly. From an offensive perspective, they've got great pitching performance out of Montgomery and Eovaldi. But my star of the series would probably go to Evan Carter either way. Splitter off the outside corner and able to foul it off. Tough pitch there is Carter. Probably would have gone for a ball, but when it's that close, why take the chance? 1-2 again. The set and the pitch. High pop-up, third base side. Rosarania going over and unable to make the catch in foul territory, just outside of that Rangers bullpen area. Remember, the bullpen for the Rangers is actually on the field, so he would have had to contend with the raised mounds over there as well, but unable to get there in time, and we'll do it all over again. This will be the 6th pitch of this at-bat, another successful at-bat for Carter. The 1-2 here. Misses outside, 2-2. We will see a 7th pitch to this at-bat. Have yet to see one hit the catwalk in this series. Usually in a Rays series, you can always count on some ball being hit up into the rafters there. We have yet to see one. We'll see if we see one in the next inning and a half. This one's fouled back, and 2-2. It remains. Another foul ball, and still 2-2, really making him work here. This will be the 9th pitch of the at-bat coming. Kind of a check swing on that last one. Carter holding tough. The set and the 2-2. Ouch! That looked like it hit him. And it did, right off the ankle. Hopefully it doesn't hurt him. That was right off the ball of the ankle. Carter's making sure they didn't call him for a swing on that one. But he did check his swing pretty good. Kind of off the toe, ball area, the foot, of the ankle area. Trainers out there just making sure he's okay. Rangers really need his bat in the lineup, as successful as he's been. But Rangers will have a runner on with 1 out. Getting an update on that Twins game again. Another 2-on, 2-out jam for the Twins that they're able to get out of. They go to the top half of the third now. Still nothing there. Looks like Carter is feeling that hit by pitch, but it looks like he'll be staying in the game and is fine. Not sure they're going to have him push it anyway with a 6-run lead and try to steal the base, but Semien got his first hit in his last time up. RBI double, and then scored a run thereafter. Strike one at the very bottom of the zone, inside corner. 0-1. The set and the pitch. Hard hit, center field, but this will be right at Margot. A couple steps to his right, makes the catch for the 2nd out of the inning. Semien finally making more solid contact in his last couple of at-bats, but it still is 1 for 5 today. Struggled yesterday as well. Corey Seager is up next. 2 doubles in the game and a walk, 2 for 3. They intentionally walked him earlier in the game, successfully avoiding a run scoring. Has an RBI as well. First pitch here on the inside part of the plate, a slider. Gets the call. Looked like it might have been an inch off the plate, but I was close enough to entice the strike call from the home plate umpire. 33 home runs on the season. Trying to get him to chase here down in the dirt. 1-1. Carter stays at first after that one kind of rolled away a few feet. Seven to 1. Texas in front here in the top of the 8th. Runner on first. Corey Seager up to bat. Not sure what that pitch was. They're calling it a sinker, but either way, right at the top of the zone, inside part of the plate, 1-2. The set here by Little, and the pitch. Check swing, third base umpire says he went around. That pitch was well inside, but unable to lay off of that one. And the Rangers are retired here in the top of the 8th. 7-1 as we go to the bottom half of the 8th inning. 7 runs, 12 hits, 1 error for Texas. 1 run, 6 hits, 1 error for Texas. We'll see who they bring out of the bullpen for Texas, or if they go as Spores for another inning. I'm guessing they'll probably bring Will Smith in probably for the 9th if they leave Spores in. Or if they decide to leave him out there, then we'll probably see another. Or if they decide to go with Will Smith here and then bring somebody else in for the 9th. But Rangers do have some options in the bullpen right now. It'll be Pinto, Diaz, and Randy Arozarena for the Rays in the bottom of the 8th. Probably their last best chance here to get back into it. Rangers scoring 4 in the 4th, 1 in the 5th, 2 in the 6th. Rays finally answering, ending their scoreless inning streak at 33 2/3 by adding a run in the 7th. But Nathan Eovaldi, the story of this one from a pitching perspective, pitched an absolute gem, 6 2/3, 1 earned run, 8 strikeouts, his best start since returning from injury. And exactly what the Rangers really needed today. Another high-quality start from their starting pitching, something that they had really struggled to get over the final month of the season, besides guys from Jordan Montgomery and Dane Dunning. But they get the job done today, turning it over the bullpen with a 6-run, or, well, at the time, a 7-run advantage. Well, 6-run advantage. The last hit, anyway, came off of Eovaldi. We'll see if they can keep it scoreless in the 8th and 9th. The one time people think you can get to this team is once you get to the bullpen. We saw them pitch 2 scoreless innings yesterday. Third of an inning so far scoreless. Looks like we're just about to come back from break. I imagine they'll pinch hit for Pinto here. And it does look like they're going to leave Josh Spores out there. The ALDS will kick off on Saturday. So in case you guys were wondering if the Rangers were to win, when would their next game be? That would be Saturday. So we could even see Jordan Montgomery take the ball in Game 1 there. I'm expecting Dane Dunning, though, who was the Rangers' best pitcher all season. Led them in innings pitched. Pitched very well on short rest for the first time in his career in the season finale against Seattle. And a poor defensive play by Nate Lowe allowed the only run in the game to score. Otherwise, we probably would have seen Dane Dunning in Game 1 of this one, and then we would have seen Jordan Montgomery. But as it stands right now, Rangers very happy with where they're going. The 1-1 pitch swung on and missed by Pinto. Surprised they're leaving him in here to hit. Thought they might have gone to the bench. One and two. Pinto looking to avoid striking out for the 3rd time in the game. The set and the pitch. High fastball chased by Pinto, swung on and missed for the first out here in the 8th inning. Josh Spores looks like he's got his location going. Always has had great stuff, great movement on all of his pitches, but that's also been part of his undoing, is sometimes he can be a little erratic with it and can't locate. So far he's been effectively wild, getting swings and misses outside of the zone pretty consistently so far. Again, Tampa Bay is one of the teams that chases the most. First pitch here, right on the inside corner, up and in. 0-1. Diaz led the game off with a first pitch single. Another pitch dotted up in the exact same spot by Sborz. Tough to face when he's absolutely hitting those corners like that. And it's 0-2. Diaz takes his time right now. Sborz looking good. Shoot, they may even leave Sborz in there to face or go through the ninth if he's this economical with his pitches. The 0-2 here to Diaz. Just off the outside corner, trying to entice the swing and a miss from Diaz. Able to lay off of it. Good check swing there from Diaz. 1-2. Sborz set. And the pitch. Hard hit, but up the middle, right to Seager. Kind of a four-hopper to him. Makes the play onto first, and there are 2 away here in the bottom of the 8th. Rangers 4 outs away from advancing for the first time since 2015 in the postseason. Rangers team led the AL West for 160 days. One of 4 teams in history to lead their division that long and not to win their division. First pitch here to Randy. Little tapper out to Seager, a 2-hopper. Flips on to first. 1-2-3 go the Rays in the 8th. The Rangers are 3 outs away from advancing to the ALDS. Let me hear you in the chat if you're a Ranger fan. Hit that heart button. Rays, you're going to need a rally. Down by 6 as you head to the 9th. Tap that 100 if you're rooting for your Rays. But it looks like it'll be Grossman, Garcia, and Lowe for the Rangers. I'll be shocked if Grossman actually takes this at bat. I'm guessing Mitch Garver will probably come off the bench. He's been the Rangers' best hitter that they have left on the bench, along with Travis Jankowski would probably be the next guy off the bench from an offensive perspective. Then they have a couple of defensive guys there in Hedges and Smith that they could flip to. But I think right now the only guy that they would probably take out of the lineup is Grossman. Got his first hit in this series today. Struggled yesterday and today making contact, but did his job working the count. But you're trying to get some extra runs here late, so I'd imagine they go with Mitch Garver. Looks like the Rangers are loosening up Jose Leclerc for the 9th. Rangers not messing around with this one. As effective as Josh Sborz is, they're not going to go ahead and burn him as much as, or burn him out anyway, as much as they used him at times earlier this season. I imagine coming back from injury, they're going to take every precaution, let him build off of this performance, and have a few really good performances back-to-back since he's come back. We head to the top of the 9th. Texas winning 7-1. Again, if they win today, this will be the first time that they've advanced in the postseason since 2015. And they would have done so here all on the road against Tampa Bay. Looks like Tampa's going to stick with Little out there on the mound after he effectively got through the 8th. Had a couple of strikeouts in that frame. And surprisingly, the Rangers are going to stick with Robbie Grossman. Okay. First pitch here misses, ball 1. A little bit high off the outside corner, 1-0. Just to give you guys an update, still scoreless, Minnesota and Toronto. Twins have a runner on first with 2 outs in that bottom of the 3rd. Grossman swings and misses at this one. Chases that one low and in. 1-1. Grossman usually credited with having a great eye, but has been chasing a few pitches today. Very uncharacteristic for him. Fouls off a splitter off the outside corner. Again beneath the zone. And it's 1-2. You can start to see some smiles in that dugout right now for Texas. Looks like Will Smith having sharing a laugh with Jonah Heim out there. Because the bullpen's right next to the dugout, you can actually have pitchers kind of go in and out of the dugout and into the bullpen area. Max Scherzer keeping the guys hyped in there as well. This Rangers team is having great energy right now. 2-2 here on Grossman. Takes strike 3 right down the middle. And that's the first out here in the ninth. Good sweeper there. Grossman thought he'd get another pitch outside of the zone. Adolis Garcia coming up, 1 for 4 on the day. Had that huge home run to get things started in that fourth inning. Hit the ball hard. Another time down the third base line, corralled by Paredes. Struck out and grounded out today. This one misses up and in, 1-0. Between the postseason and regular season, that was his 40th home run of the season. Swing and a miss at that one off the outside corner, 1-1. Chase that one maybe an inch or two off the plate. Goes ahead and takes his time here to recalibrate. Nathaniel Lowe waiting on deck. Finished second in the American League in home runs with 39. That one misses up and in, 93-mile-an-hour fastball. 3-1 after this one misses low and away. Garcia looking to get on here for the Rangers here in the ninth. Swing and a miss. Good pitch. Slider there at the bottom of the zone. 3-2. Garcia had a pretty good rip at that one. The set and the pitch. Fastball caught too much of the plate, but popped up by Garcia behind second base. And Meade makes the catch for the second out of the inning. 2 outs here in the top of the ninth. Looks like it probably will be Jose Leclerc in the ninth for Texas. Either that or he's just going to be insurance should Spores start to lose it. We shall see. But either way, Bochy is not messing around. First pitch misses here to Lowe, 1-0. Fastball up. Lowe has a hit in both games of the series anyway, but has struggled overall. Has been effectively executing the game plan, though, of forcing the pitchers to throw a lot of pitches to him. He's done that very well all year long. Fouls this one off. The set here by Little, and the pitch. And another foul ball down the third base side, 1-2. Rays 1 strike away from getting out of it here in the top of the ninth, and then we'll see what happens in the bottom half. Leclerc is ready in the bullpen. Swing and a miss right at the bottom of the zone. Little gets out of it. Doesn't give up base runner here in the ninth, and we go to the bottom half. Rangers in front, 7-1, with a chance to advance to the American League Division Series if they get these final 3 outs. It'll be Ramirez, Lowe, and Paredes, 3, 4, 5 in the order. Ramirez has not had any success in this series, has yet to record a base hit. Lowe, 1 for 3 today. Paredes also 1 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts today as well. But this is the last opportunity for the Rays. They finally ended their scoreless inning streak in the 7th, but hoping to advance today, they're going to need to at least score 6 more in this half inning in order to stay alive. Great starts by Jordan Montgomery yesterday for Texas. Nathan Eovaldi today. Evan Carter, your player of the series for Texas, though. Probably give a 2nd star anyway to the Rangers starters, how good they've been. And it does look like they're going to go ahead and bring in Leclerc instead of having Spores try to go and get the final 3. I'm sure the Rangers will have Will Smith down there in the bullpen along with Aroldis Chapman should Leclerc get into trouble. But Rangers going ahead and getting their righty right now. Remember, if they win today, they'll have Thursday and Friday off Travel to Baltimore, and Game 1 will be in Baltimore on Saturday. Depending on game times, we might carry that one for you guys live here. Update on that Twins and Blue Jays series. Nothing there in the top of the 4th with 2 outs. As they get back from commercial break in our game, Rangers 7 runs, 7 runs, 12 hits, 1 error. Tampa Bay 1 run, 6 hits, 1 error. As we are just about ready to get going. Ramirez strides to the box here. Leclerc on the year, 57 games, a 2.68 earned run average in 57 innings pitched, 29% strikeout rate, above league average, and a walk rate also above league average at 12%. First pitch here to Ramirez. Waste no time there, taking advantage of that slider, driving it into center for a leadoff single. Josh Lowe is next. Ramirez doesn't end the series with an offer, gets his first base hit. Rays are going to need significantly more here, though, but a good start nonetheless. Swing and a miss by Lowe on that one, right down the middle, 96-mile-an-hour fastball. Or calling it a sinker, that was not a sinker. 0-1. Another fastball right down Broadway, fouled off this time by Lowe. 0-2. Leclerc coming out and challenging him here with fastballs. Almost in the exact same spot with both pitches. See if they go back with the fastball here. If we see the Slambio. No, it's a changeup. Low and away. And that one misses. 1-2. Rays down to their final 3 outs here. Rangers looking for their first playoff series victory in over 8 years. The first time they would advance since 2015. Make sure you tap that heart if you're a Ranger fan. The 100 if you're rooting for the Rays to come back here in the 9th. Another changeup low and away. A little further away this time. 2-2 now. Harold Ramirez led off the inning with a base hit. The 7th of the game for the Tampa Bay Rays. Paredes waits on deck. Leclerc sets. And the pitch. Fastball there, outside corner, lifted in the air, left field. Going back on it is Carter. On the track, about a step or two in front of the wall, makes the catch and gets it in. Going back to first is Ramirez. That'll work, though. That's the first out of the 9th here for the Rangers. 2 outs away from advancing. Lowe just missed a 2-run home run there. Leclerc giving up hard contact here, the first 2 hitters. But so far has 1 away. Paredes takes outside for a ball. The Slambio. First time he's thrown his best pitch. Does not get the chase. Good attempt, but just missed location on that one. There's a better one, but also off the plate away. 2-0 now. You don't want to start walking guys and having the walks beat you. The one thing the Rangers pitching staff and pitching coaches and managers have all tried to discuss with these pitchers is to not let the walk beat you. Let the opposing hitter force them to beat you. Put it in play. So we'll see if he quickly comes back into the zone. This one's popped up, 97-mile-an-hour fastball, third base side. Young giving it a chase, and it bounces off the top of the dugout. 2-1. All 3 players were over there for the Rangers trying to get there in time, but that one was a little too far out of play. 2-1. Leclerc up to 9 pitches so far. Kevin Cash, all he can do as manager is just watch and see if his guys can come through here late. The 2-1 from Leclerc. Another hard hit ball into left. This one's going to get down and go to the wall. It's going to go as a double. Ramirez looks like he's going to pull up there at third, and it's runners on second and third with one out. Curious to see if we see a mound visit here. But 3 batters in so far. All 3 batters have hit the ball hard off of Leclerc. That one just kind of spun in the middle of the plate. Leclerc has not been crisp so far. Rangers still lead it by 6, but the Rays are certainly getting their bats going here in the bottom of the ninth. Bullpen has been the weakness for the Rangers as Mike Maddox calls down to the bullpen to see what they can do. First pitch, fastball right down Broadway again, fouled off by Margot. Not sure that's where they wanted that one. Looks like Andrew Heaney is the guy they call on. The lefty. This one misses well outside and in the dirt, 1-1. Good block there by Jonah, keeping it in front of him. With the runner on third, all it takes is a wild pitch to score a run. A little surprised Will Smith's not the guy they call on here. This one a little closer, unable to entice the swing for Margot. Margot's been probably the most patient hitter out of the Rays lineup today. 2-1 here. 1 for 5 in the series. 4 homers, and a .264 batting average during the season. The 2-1, 98 right down Broadway, foul tipped into the glove of Heim. That'll go as a strike. 2-2 as he takes his timeout here. Margot down to his final strike in this at bat. Good speed, good velocity on that from Leclerc. See if he can locate that off-speed pitch or if they go back with the fastball again. The 2-2. Fastball up and away, 98 out and or up and out of the zone anyway, but tapped foul, remains 2-2. Meade is the on-deck hitter for the Rays. The 2-2 pitch. Wow, and he swings and misses at that slider that missed considerably. And that's the first time he's really chased a bad one. And that'll go as the second out here in the 9th inning. Big sigh of relief in that Rangers dugout right now, as the Rays were starting to mount a little bit of a rally, but now they're down to their final out. Meade, the second baseman, reached on an error after his bat clipped the glove of Jonah Heim earlier. And then a base hit. We'll see if Meade can keep things going. A base hit probably scores 2, but they need more than that to keep it going. Check swing, but that ball is in there for a strike, 0-1. With 2 away, got to imagine Leclerc's going to start pouring in the strikes now with that fastball. The 0-1. Top of the zone, fouled back by Meade, and down to their final strike are the Rays. 0-2. Rangers leading at 7-1 here in the bottom of the 9th. Hit that hard if you're rooting for those Rangers to complete it and win their first series since 2015. If you're rooting for your Rays to kind of hold on here, hit that 100. This one misses about a mile outside, and it's 1-2. Nice job by Jonah Heim. I don't know how he was able to keep that one in front of him. 1-2 here. See if they go back with the fastball. Seems to be the one pitch he's able to at least get over for a strike right now. Time requested here by Meade. Rays making him work a little bit though. Rangers only need one more strike to complete this series sweep. And he does go back to the fastball, fouled off. And we'll do it again, 1-2. Got good velocity on there. Me just unable to straighten it out. Fouled it straight back. Another slider about a mile outside, 2-2. He has not been crisp today, that's for sure, on that off-speed pitch. Working on back-to-back days. He has struggled working on back-to-back days during the regular season. Was not called on often in those situations. Been the one consistent guy recently, though, for Bochy to count on, but does not appear to have his best stuff today. We'll see if he's still able to close the door here on the Rays nonetheless. The 2-2. Fastball again, up and in, fouled back. And we'll do it again. Good job by Meade staying alive. Curious to see if they go back with the fastball a little bit higher in the zone, see if they can get a chase. Again, that's the one pitch he's been able to at least keep close to the strike zone. Another off-speed pitch, this time the Slombio misses low and away, unable to entice the swing, 3-2. Not really close on that one either. We'll see an eighth pitch of this at bat. The set by Leclerc. And the pitch. Fastball right at the knees, taken right there, and that's the ball game. That's the series. And the Rangers celebrate their first series victory since 2015. Your winning pitcher, Nathan Eovaldi, absolutely his best start since the All-Star break. He was fantastic in this one. 7 runs, 12 hits, 1 error for Texas, 1 run, 8 hits, 1 error for Tampa Bay. What a series by Texas. They really straightened things out offensively in this one. They were able to get their bats going in this one. Runners in scoring position was a problem for them over the last week or so. They finally corrected that and got absolute gems from their starters in Jordan Montgomery in Game 1, Nathan Eovaldi in Game 2. Great job from Evan Carter, your player of the series. He was fantastic. Really drove the action for the Rangers in both Game 1 and 2. And we'll see how they perform against the Baltimore Orioles, but a very confident Rangers team heading into Baltimore. That series will begin on Saturday. Appreciate you guys joining us. Hopefully you guys stick around with us for the rest of the postseason. We're going to have quite a few postseason games for you guys as well. We'll check in on some NFL stuff as well the rest of the week. And the NHL kicks off next week as well. The NBA gets going at the end of the month. Great time to be a sports fan. For the Rays, you had a great season, but the formula seems to be out. It doesn't seem to be working anymore. 3 straight years you get bounced in the first round. They really struggled offensively in all 3 of those series. They've lost 7 consecutive postseason games. Injuries, lack of performance, lack of available players, inexperience at the major league level. Whatever your excuse is for this year, it's continuing to erode there in Tampa Bay. We'll see if they can correct those issues in the offseason. Major question marks for the front office and for the manager, Kevin Cash. But for Bruce Bochy and the Texas Rangers, congratulations. Their first series victory since 2015. We'll see if the Minnesota Twins can finish off their series against the Toronto Blue Jays for their first series victory since 1991. So we'll see how the rest of the evening goes. Hopefully y'all have a great rest of your day on Wednesday. We'll be back with you guys later on this week with some more live baseball as well. We appreciate you guys joining us. We'll see you guys then. Y'all have a great evening.